Family Cultivation. I can improve my magic weapon. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 626, Three-Eyed Silverfish. Find out the details. Chen Qingyun followed this group of demon cultivators with his eyes, trying to hear something more. Immediately afterwards, when the other party passed by his coral group area, one of the demon cultivators felt appetite, opened his mouth and took a deep breath. Large pieces of coral fish, as many as 100, were immediately sucked into the mouth one by one, and then chewed, making a clicking sound. Seeing this, the other two members of the same race laughed and started eating too. A large number of coral fish were sucked into the mouth and became food. The originally bustling coral group suddenly lost nearly half of its coral fish. More coral fish were frightened and scattered in panic, hiding in the coral. Among them, two coral fish were blocked by Chen Qingyun's body when they were swimming. They looked at the empty environment in front of them in confusion. Why is there something here? This small move was not seen by the demon cultivators. How did they know that I was nearby, and they actually sent troops to patrol? It seems that there are other demon cultivators from Kuish Cave around here, and it is not safe here. Chen Qingyun paid attention to the demon cultivators. If you continue to move forward from here, you may encounter more demon cultivators, and you must be wary of the ubiquitous fish in the sea. No one knows whether a mediocre little fish encountered at random could be the spy of Demon Ancestor Hall. How many troops the opponent has sent is the most critical point. You must know yourself and the enemy in advance. Thinking of this, Chen Qingyun decided to take action. These demon cultivators chatted for a while, and then began to spread the three-eyed silverfish swarm to the surrounding area, officially launching a carpet patrol. Rather than being lazy and going through the motions like before. More than 1,000 three-eyed whitebait spread out, covering several kilometers around. Among them, a dozen were agile and swam towards Chen Qingyun's direction. The three-eyed silverbait is a first-order low-grade spiritual fish. It is only the size of a thumb, appears silvery white, and has 3 eyes. In terms of attack power, it has no power at all. It can only spit a few bubbles. But being able to be cultivated as Kuishedon's eyeliner has its own peculiarities. The biggest feature of the three-eyed silverbait is that its third eye can see through various hidden spells and magic weapons. It can be said that their third eye is now specifically capable of restraining the purple spirit robe. Any creature that uses magic or magic weapons to hide its figure will be unable to hide in front of the three-eyed silverfish. Although Chen Qingyun didn't know the ability of the three-eyed whitebait, he could still detect that there was something different about the two three-eyed whitebait closest to him. After they swam straight over, a purple figure was actually reflected in the third eye between the forehead. The golden elixir monk's eyesight is very good, and he can clearly see a grain of sand 100 meters away. At this moment, Chen Qingyun knew that he had been exposed. What? A magical fish? It can actually see through the cover of the purple spirit robe. Seeing this, Chen Qingyun simply stopped being passive and directly used the hanging spirit slaying sword to hit the 6 demon cultivators. Faced with this sudden blow, the 6 demon cultivators each reacted. What the hell? It's a flying sword! Flying sword! The 2 demon cultivators shouted, each waving the trident in their hands, trying to resist the attack of the flying sword. The trident weapon in their hands was only of the 2nd level, and the equipment itself was not well equipped. At this time, they underestimated Chen Qingyun. The hanging spirit slaying sword was as powerful as breaking bamboo, powerfully cutting off the tridents of the 2 demons, and killed them with one sword. Who is this person? He's so sneaky. Get out of here. 2 generals were killed at once. The demon cultivator at the golden elixir stage looked angry, and the demonic aura spread out from his body, hoping to use this as a deterrent. How can Chen Qingyun be afraid? Now that he has taken action, he will not be merciful at all. Call out. The escape sea shuttle simultaneously showed its power and turned into a meteor, aiming at another 3rd-level demon cultivator. This demon cultivator had already seen the power of the hanging spirit slaying sword, and now he did not dare to look down upon the escape sea shuttle, so he immediately deployed the Purple Mansion body shield to resist. This kind of defense is naturally ineffective. The escaping sea shuttle broke through their protective shields, killing them instantly with one move. At this point in the battle, Chen Qingyun's hiding place has not yet been discovered, and the remaining 3 demon cultivators quickly dispersed. Flying sword, flying shuttle, it must be the immortal cultivator. The person in the golden core stage realized something was wrong, and at that moment he received the message from the three-eyed silverbed, and found traces of Chen Qingyun in the coral group. Damn it, it's really around here. Call for backup. The other 2 were so frightened that they did not dare to confront Chen Qingyun head-on, and followed closely beside the giant and demon cultivator. Whoosh, whoosh. The surrounding three-eyed whitebait swam away quickly to convey this discovery. Wow. The hanging spirit-slaying sword came out vertically and horizontally, carrying the sword energy that tore apart the seawater, and once again slashed straight with the sword, killing one of the 3 people. In the end, the 2 demon cultivators saw that the situation was not good and knew that they were no match. They chose to escape, but their speed was far inferior to Chen Qingyun. After just a few breaths of chasing, Chen Qingyun beheaded the golden elixir stage demon cultivator, and the last one was captured alive with a golden wire net. At this moment, the reason why there is still one person alive is that Chen Qingyun already has a plan in mind. We need to find out how many troops Kuish Cave has sent out this time, and how many demon cultivators are patrolling around. How to ask. Chen Qingyun still has a few third-level god-asking talismans. Don't kill me, I'm just a chess piece, I'm not a threat to you, don't kill me. After being captured, he realized that there was still a chance of survival, otherwise he would have been killed with a sword. The demon cultivator showed fear and begged for mercy. I can't tell you anything you want to ask, please let me go, sir. Chen Qingyun killed decisively, instead of the other party confessing himself and having to judge the truth of the words. It is better to use the god-asking talisman to ask. So, he played a third-level god-asking talisman. Under the effect of the god-asking talisman, the demon cultivator's consciousness was affected, and he began to ask and answer one question at a time. How many people did Kuish Cave send this time? Tell me more about it. We are all sent by the Guardian, a total of 1,000 people, including the assistance of the other 10 Guardians, a total of 9,000 people. In the mind of this demon cultivator, he already called himself and his companions human beings, not demon beasts. When he began to transform into a human form, he began to think that he was a human being in his bones. Chen Qingyun did not comment on such a title, and asked, what is the specific strength of these 9,000 people, are they all around here? The strength of these 9,000 people is between the foundation building stage and the golden elixir stage, including 130 people in the golden elixir stage, more than 7,600 people in the purple mansion stage, and more than 1,200 people in the foundation building stage. This is the force sent by our Kuish Cave, all scattered around here, and we have people within a radius of 100,000 miles. In addition, because Deputy Cave Master Zhang issued a bounty, many people from outside Kuish Cave participated in it. The number is inestimable, and I don't know. Chapter 627, Kuish Snake Order, Experience in Taming Beasts. More than 7,000 Purple Mansion Stage Cultivators. This force is not a big threat. The hardest to deal with are the 130 Golden Core Stage Demon Cultivators. Previously, I realized that the power of the Kuish Snake Cave is sufficient, and it can challenge the Xingzong alone. Now, after asking carefully, I refreshed my cognition again. This is not a single challenge to the Xingzong, but a single challenge to the entire Xinghai. What? A Kuish Snake Cave? In order to arrest me, they are willing to send so many people. They really think highly of me. Chen Qingyun frowned, asked in detail about the distribution of these people, and soon got the answer. 9,000 demon cultivators, all led by a golden core stage, each carrying a three-eyed silver fish, Bat Electric Eel and other reconnaissance assistants, are scattered around here. Although these people are not many within a radius of 100,000 miles, and they are even scattered very sparsely, but Chen Qingyun soon realized the problem. That is, he is in this vast ocean. How did the people of the Kui Snake Cave determine that there is a trace of him within a radius of 100,000 miles? 10,000 miles is just a very small area in the scale of the 10,000 monsters sea, so small that it is not worth mentioning. With this question, Chen Qingyun continued to ask. The demon cultivator answered truthfully. You have the identity token of Zhang Hufa on you, which can provide the approximate location. And, as a cultivator, your aura is very unique. We can use your aura to identify your identity as a cultivator. Chen Qingyun knew that it was difficult to modify his own aura. Even if he covered it with a purple spirit robe, at most it would prevent the purple mansion creatures from seeing through it. In front of the golden elixir creatures, this camouflage effect would be difficult to play a role, and careful identification would reveal the clues. The purple spirit robe cannot be strengthened. It is already the maximum grade limit. Chen Qingyun focused on the identity token and asked, can this identity token locate my whereabouts? What other effects are there? Please tell me in detail. Each guardian of Kuish Cave is equipped with an identity token, called Kuish Order. This Kuish Order does not usually provide the location information of the guardian, but as long as a guardian dies, the Kuish Order will automatically activate and transmit the approximate location information back to Kuish Cave. Kuish Cave already knows where you are now, and is sending people to surround you. You can't escape. Killed Zhang Yan and took away his storage bag. At that time, he was in a hurry to fly back to the Star Sea, so he didn't care what was in the storage bag. Unexpectedly, it was the other party's identity token that exposed his whereabouts. Regarding this identity token, Chen Qingyun immediately asked about it and got a more intuitive understanding. There are three types of Kuish orders. One is unique to the Kuish Cave Master, called the three-head Kuish Order. The second equipment is in the hands of the two deputy cave masters, which belongs to the double-head Kuish Order. The third type is the single-headed Kuish Orders owned by the Guardians, and there are a total of 12 of them so far. In Kuish Cave, Kuish Orders are a symbol of identity and status. In terms of rank, the Kuish Cave Lord has supreme power and can dispose of and kill any demon cultivator under his command at will. The Deputy Cave Master also enjoys this privilege, except that he cannot attack the Cave Master. As for the Guardians, they have great power. The 12 Guardians are not only equipped with men and horses to follow them, but can also kill any demon cultivator who does not belong to Kuish Cave in the sea area ruled by Kuish Cave and are protected by Kuish Cave. Those demon cultivators who have not joined Kuish Cave are not allowed to attack the Guardians of Kuish Cave, otherwise they will be wanted and hunted by Kuish Cave. It can be said that becoming a Guardian can control the life and death of demon cultivators in the sea area and be feared by all parties. At the same time, Kuish Cave does not allow internal fighting, at least on the surface. Everyone must be united against the outside world. I was wanted and hunted, and now it seems that the problem is indeed Zhang Yan. Others can kill them at will, but they cannot touch the people of Kuish Cave. This Kuish Cave really holds grudges. Sending out 9,000 demon cultivators at the same time is really exaggerated. If it weren't for the result of asking the divine talisman, there would be no possibility of fraud. Chen Qingyun would really think that the other party was exaggerating and trying to scare him. In addition to the identity token, what other information do you have about me? We know your appearance and figure very well. Where did you get these messages from Zhang Yan? No, this news comes from Hawkeye Seagull. Hawkeye Seagull. Chen Qingyun looked back at the battle scene at that time and didn't pay attention to any seagulls, birds and beasts around him. It seems that there are really many spies in Kuish Cave. How can they be everywhere? I still have to be more cautious in the future. After asking several questions in succession, Chen Qingyun finally asked about the layout of the people and horses in Kuish Cave, and he had a rough idea in his mind. When the effect of the questioning talisman disappeared, Chen Qingyun used the golden wire net to exert a little force and instantly killed the demon cultivator. Since he had learned the reason for being located, Chen Qingyun immediately took out the 8 desolations, temporarily placed the sovereignty on his clone, and then entered the blessed land beat himself. Zhang Yan's storage bag, such a giant and demon cultivator's wealth. Chen Qingyun was somewhat interested. Quickly searching, as expected, Chen Qingyun saw a green snake-shaped identity token. The token was made to imitate the Kuish, showing the front image of a spirit snake. A pair of dark green snake pupils were carefully decorated on it, which looked quite strange, as if it was really looking at a spirit snake. This was a Kuish snake with only one head, which was the identity token exclusive to the guardian of Kuish Snake Cave. As long as one glance was taken, any living being with cultivation could automatically read the information in it. Kuish Snake token, that's it. After quickly finding the token, Chen Qingyun continued to explore the rest of the things to see if there were any similar items that could expose his existence. After a careful inspection, Chen Qingyun found that this person only had 3 magic weapons. A pair of large scissors, a dragon-catching rope, and a snake-body black bottle. The large scissors and the dragon-catching rope were used in the previous fight, and they were both life-saving magic weapons. The snake-body black bottle was called the Black Snake Bottle, which was made by imitating the appearance of a 4th-level monster black snake. It could release black poisonous light to attack and had the function of corroding magic weapons of the same level. The Black Snake Bottle is a mid-grade life magic weapon, which can often play an unexpected effect in the battle against the defensive shield, light and armor magic weapons of the giant and cultivators. He won 3 life magic weapons in a row, which are worth about 1.2 million spirit stones. The harvest of this battle is not small. In addition, in terms of spirit stones, the mid-grade spirit stones are the main ones, with more than 30,000 pieces. There are 10 high-grade spirit stones and only more than 100 low-grade spirit stones. In the Jiandan period, the transactions between giant and cultivators are at least using mid-grade spirit stones, and high-grade spirit stones are occasionally used. As for the top-grade spirit stones, they are basically in the hands of Yuanian cultivators and have become a standard for measuring their worth. In the storage bag, there are many other miscellaneous things, all kinds of things. I am more concerned about a book of beast control experience. Chapter 628, The Mystery of Kung Fu. This book of beast control records some beast control knowledge and summarized experience, and there are often places where there are smudges and modifications. From the knowledge point of view, it is at most the 3rd grade upper grade. Although he does not understand beast control, Chen Qingyun, an outsider, can see at a glance that this is all serious knowledge, and there is no forgery. Obviously, this book of beast control is not written by Zhang Yan, and the other party is not smart enough. Due to their low intelligence, the Jiandan stage demon cultivators are very reluctant to learn the Jiandan technique. Therefore, they basically do not have the ability to learn the 100 arts of cultivating immortals. Whether it is magic tools, elixirs, or talismans, they cannot be refined by themselves and have to rely on outsiders. This is also the reason why Chen Qingyun has not encountered any opponent to perform any skills since fighting with several demon cultivators, because it is difficult to learn. Of course, Zhang Yan is a special case. After Zhang Yan ate the shape-changing grass and transformed into a human, his intelligence was greatly improved, no less than that of ordinary people, and he had the foundation to learn skills. Back to the point, Chen Qingyun guessed that this experience note was more like what Zhang Yan got by killing people and stealing treasures. This is probably because he killed a certain beast master and got this trophy. Finally, after counting, I found some gains in the cultivation methods. More than 10 cultivation methods, most of which are foundation building and purple mansion stage. There is a Jiandan cultivation method, which is a magic method to be precise. Mixing. After reaching the Jiandan stage, cultivators will focus on the practice of magical skills and no longer rely solely on external forces such as magic tools and talismans to win. Self-created magic methods are very common in the Jiandan stage. This mixing is a soul magic method that can conceal or change the soul breath, demonic aura, and other body auras. Any cultivator, whether it is a demon beast or a demon cultivator, will have his own unique aura, which comes from the soul. Because no matter how much disguise, appearance and body shape are changed, as long as the soul breath can be sensed, the true face can still be distinguished. The real disguise technique is to modify the soul race and breath type at the same time, and completely achieve a seamless level. The appearance of this technique made Chen Qingyun's eyes light up. It is easy to master and not difficult to learn. Just now, I was thinking about how to disguise myself and find a breakthrough to escape the search of Kuish Cave. If I use the Mirage Pearl to change my appearance, and then use the Mirage to hide the soul breath. In this way, who can still tell whether I am a demon cultivator, an immortal cultivator, or a demon cultivator? After counting the spoils, the book Beast Taming Experience can be copied by Chen Dohai to help this elder improve the beast taming technique. It happened to be a trip to the White Stone Vein and purchased a large amount of white stone from the family to be used as the main structural material of the puppet hall. Because I was worried that there were still other exposed traces among so many items, it was not safe to carry them with me. Except for the three things of the technique, the spirit stone, and the book. All other things were destroyed or discarded. 3 magic weapons were directly decomposed. Chen Qingyun packed up the rest, including the Kuis Snake Order, and discarded them in the coral group. My figure and appearance have been mastered by the Kuis Snake Cave. In order to avoid the search, my appearance and soul need to be concealed and modified. For the sake of safety, I'd better not show up to the public. It just so happens that I have some demon pills in my hand. Let's swallow and refine them first to improve my strength. During this period, Chen Qingyun decided to go out less and stay in the Blessed Land bead to practice the technique mixing. Instead, let Baoang take the Blessed Land bead to move in the sea. Baoang is like a brother and sister, and is freely controlled by Chen Qingyun. After Chen Qingyun entered Baoang's body, he could perform any of his own magic skills without being restricted by the master and subordinate. First, he changed his appearance with the Mirage bead and disguised himself as a mermaid demon cultivator, and then put on the purple spirit robe to continue to cover up. At this point, if it weren't for the giant and stage creatures staring and scrutinizing, it would be hard to see the clues. Traveling rapidly in the sea, Chen Qingyun continued to head north. With the discovery of the three-eyed silverfish, more and more Kuish Cave demon cultivators joined the search team within 100,000 miles of the surrounding sea. Kuish Cave further expanded the team to lay a net to keep Chen Qingyun and avenge Zhang Yan, so as to demonstrate the strength of Kuish Cave and its majesty that cannot be violated. After traveling for more than 30,000 miles, Chen Qingyun discovered that there were more demon cultivators, most of whom could get away with it. Facing individual giant and stage demon cultivators, Chen Qingyun chose to attack directly and kill them quickly. Baoang's strength has reached the middle stage of Jiandan. With the help of the suspended soul-slaying sword and the sky-transforming shield, it is relatively easy to kill these giant and stage demon cultivators with poor equipment and uneven quality. Along the way, in more than 10 days, 36 Purple Mansion stage demon cultivators were killed. 3 giant and stage cultivators were killed, all of which were quick and decisive. In the 11th fight, the opponent was a silver-maned electric eel in the middle stage of the Golden Core. When it launched the attack, the electric light within 100 meters around it swayed, bombarding Chen Qingyun like thunder. This battle was a bit tricky for Chen Qingyun. He used wood-attributed spells to resist many times and found the right opportunity to counterattack. Finally, with the assistance of Jiuyu, he successfully killed the powerful enemy with the second first place. When checking the opponent's storage bag, Chen Qingyun once again obtained a single-headed Kuish order, which was a guardian. After killing 2 guardians of Kuish Cave in a row, this feud was completely settled. What we need to do now is to fly out of this sea area while improving our strength as quickly as possible. After discarding the Kuis Snake Order, Chen Qingyun will act according to circumstances in the next 2 months. Most of the time, he is on the road. When he is tired, he rests, lets Baoang recover his mana, and then enters Jiuyu to continue on the road. The principle of practicing the mysterious shape is very simple, which is to converge all the souls, similar to the effect of eliminating the breath at will. The reason why it can be classified as the Jiandan level is that it requires the soul foundation of the Jiandan cultivator to practice. Chen Qingyun himself has a good soul foundation, and the difficulty of the technique is not high. Practicing is a natural process, and it can be mastered in a month at most. In this kind of alternating battles and traveling, Chen Qingyun finally succeeded in practicing the mysterious shape and can hide the soul breath at will. Once it is used, the soul in the body rotates slowly clockwise with the Danshan as the center, like a vortex. Then, it condenses into a thumb-sized black hole pattern, just like collapse. At this time, the soul's aura was completely absorbed into the black hole, without a trace of it leaking out. This is the process of annihilating the aura. After mastering the form enchanting technique, it is difficult for outsiders to tell from the aura whether I am an immortal cultivator, a demon cultivator, or a devil cultivator. Chen Qingyun used the 8 desolations to sense his own aura and found that it was like facing a dark abyss, and he could not detect even a trace of aura. The effect of the form enchanting technique was beyond expectations. Chapter 629 Breakthrough to the middle stage of the Golden Core. No wonder, when I used my spiritual consciousness to explore the area on Bailu Island earlier, I found no trace of Zhang Yan. It seemed that the other party had used a disguise to hide it deliberately. Next, let's try to consolidate our strength and see if I can reach the middle stage of Golden Core. I have accumulated some 4th level demon pills in my body. Although I am wanted this time, it is not without gain. After counting the demon elixirs on his body, there were 2 3rd-level demon elixirs and the elixir-forming resources donated by his family. Counting some inventory, the recent gains are just enough to break through the middle stage of the pill formation. According to the records of the Great Wilderness Demon Swallowing Technique, one can practice up to the peak of the Golden Elixir stage. Calculated based on the number of demon elixirs, if you want to break through from the early stage of the Golden Elixir to the middle stage of the Golden Elixir, different levels of demon elixirs require different quantities. The first level demon pill requires 40,000 pills. The second level requires 2,000 pieces. The third level requires 200 pieces. Level 4 requires 20 pieces. The number of demon elixirs is just right. Let's try to hit the middle stage of the golden elixirs, so as to resist the pursuit of Kui Shedong. Jiuyu hid his figure among the rocks in the sea. In the blessed land Pearl, Chen Qingyun sat up cross-legged and began to refine the demon pill. First, the second level and third level demon pills were swallowed and refined one by one to consolidate the cultivation base. Then the fourth level demon elixir became the main force, condensing into a large amount of demon power and true energy, constantly filling the golden elixir. This process of refining the demon pill to break through the realm lasted for less than half a year. On this day, Chen Qingyun finally broke through the bottleneck of cultivation. His whole body of mana was shaken, and a powerful golden elixir aura arose, and he was promoted to the middle stage of golden elixir in one fell swoop. Chen Qingyun felt the improvement brought about by his soul, body, and magic power, and his eyes were filled with energy. Compared with the early stage of Jiandan, the strength has increased by 3 times. It has been possible to perform the 5 elements heavenly escape 9 times. Stretching his body, there was a thunderous sound like thunder in his body. Seeing this, Mo Ling, Bai Ling and Bei Ling all gathered around and cheered. Chen Qingyun himself was secretly happy. Jiandan's mid-term strength, looking at the sea of 10,000 demons, is not a very powerful character. It is better to keep a low profile for the follow-up actions. Chen Qingyun decided to keep a low profile and hide his traces as much as possible. This time, although he was wanted by Kui Shedong, he was always being hunted. But after this fight, he not only gained combat experience, but also obtained a lot of demon pills. The benefits of this kind of duel are huge. After being immersed in the rock for half a year, Jiuyu almost merged with the surroundings, becoming like an undersea statue. Chen Qingyun's mind was moved, and he unfolded his spiritual consciousness to explore the surrounding area, preparing to use 5 elements heavenly escape to leave this rocky sea area. Divine consciousness spread, covering a radius of more than 60,000 meters, and traces of numerous monsters and monster cultivators appeared. Among them, there are many demon cultivators from Kuish Cave, and there are even some demon cultivators from other caves dressed differently, including those from Bishui Cave who come to join in the fun. Damn it, where did that kid hide? He killed 2 of our guardians. Now, the deputy cave master has increased the reward in the next chapter, plus the reward for the guardians quota. I think we are not the only ones who are interested this time. The competition is getting more and more intense. A demon cultivator in the early stage of Jinden muttered, followed by a demon cultivator of the same level, both from Kuish Cave. It has been more than half a year. That man has been absconding all the way and killed many of our associates. I guess he is not walking very fast and he should still be surrounded by us. If this breaks out of the encirclement, it's not something we should have to worry about. While they were talking, little did they know that 3 figures were coming towards them at great speed. One of them was very alert and noticed something was wrong and shouted. The next moment, a flying sword broke through the water and chopped off his head. "It's you!" another person exclaimed, subconsciously thinking of Chen Qingyun, with a look of fear in his eyes, and immediately took out the communication talisman to inform Protector Shi. 3 figures, Bang, Jiuyu, and Chen Qingyun, surrounded him from 3 directions and began to hunt. The demon cultivator was about to activate the communication talisman in his hand when Jiuyu took 1 step ahead and cut off his arm with the Tangsu sword. Seeing that there was no hope for help, the demon cultivator looked fierce and released the poisonous mist in his body, which swept toward Chen Qingyun and bowing crazily. This is also a squid. The toxins in the poison sac can easily kill monks of the same level, and even a little contamination can be fatal. Chen Qingyun spread out his body to dodge, and between his hands, he used the purple-green divine flame to condense a black ice-cold Kai, which charged forward with the power of extreme cold. The power of spiritual fire is that it can burn normally even in the sea and will not be restrained by water. As soon as Zhuanbing and Kai came into contact with the poisonous mist, the cold ice power suddenly spread, sealing the poisonous mist firmly in ice. "It's so cold. What kind of move is this?" Seeing that his best attack was ineffective, the demon cultivator looked horrified and tried to avoid being contacted by Zhuanbing Han Kai in a panic. But the next moment, he noticed frost appearing on his skin. Immediately afterwards, the whole person was sealed in ice along with all the poisonous mist, and he was completely reduced to nothing more than fish on the board. "It's so cold." With this thought in mind, a flying sword slashed over. The huge ice block was split flatly from the middle, and the incision was as smooth as a mirror. The second demon cultivator, killed. After dealing with the opponent, Chen Qingyun collected the demon pill and storage bag. When he picked up the communication talisman, he read the message inside. "Tang, Wu, the latest information. The immortal cultivator may be near you. You must be vigilant and don't fall into his trap. These immortal cultivators are smart and cunning. Don't compete with them to see who is smarter. As long as you find something, send a message immediately to seek support. Don't delay." There are only 2 messages. Obviously, this communication talisman has been used for a short time. After reading it, Chen Qingyun ignited a wisp of purple flame on his fingertips and burned it to ashes. "It is not advisable to stay here for a long time." Chen Qingyun and Jiuyu entered the blessed land bead and changed to control the 8 wastelands to hurry on their way, turning into streams of light and flying in the sea. It is difficult to know the distance in the sea. According to the map in his mind, Chen Qingyun can be sure that it is only 300,000 miles at most. As he continued to change his appearance, even his soul and spirit were modified, carrying a rolling demonic aura, which made it difficult for people to doubt whether Chen Qingyun had any connection with the immortal cultivators. In the southern part of the Wanyao Sea, more than 500,000 miles away from the Xinghai Sea. A mermaid which was being stopped for questioning. A large number of Kuish cave spies had been deployed within a radius of hundreds of miles. "Brother, have you ever seen this person in the portrait? If you are lucky and have seen it, as long as you tell me the specific location, This first-level flame explosion talisman will be yours. A shrimp soldier under the She Guardian was holding a portrait and stopped the mermaid witch to ask. He also held a bright yellow talisman in his hand, showing a smiling face, looking particularly honest. This mermaid witch was none other than Chen Qingyun in disguise. Chapter 630 Fishing in Troubled Waters, Returning to the Star Sea. Based on the 8 Wastelands, the appearance of the shark witch was changed, and then the magic of confusion was used to annihilate the aura of the soul. Chen Qingyun now looks like a Xifu period shark shaman. Never seen it. Chen Qingyun shook his head expressionlessly. Hey, then this talisman has no chance with you. The shrimp soldier waved his hand helplessly, signaling for his companions to let them go. At the same time, he did not forget to pat Chen Qingyun on the shoulder and said with a playful smile, "My good friends from the Shark Witch clan, when I have time another day, I will go and sit with you. One of my closest friends is from your clan. I've been craving your coral wine for a long time. The taste is really unforgettable." Chen Qingyun was non-committal and did not answer, so as not to expose any flaws. Not far away, the protector of She in a gorgeous robe walked over, followed by 3 golden elixir stage demon cultivators. "No results found yet?" When the shrimp soldiers approached, Protector She asked coldly. The shrimp soldier did not dare to neglect and answered immediately. "Master, Protector, that immortal cultivator is too cunning. I don't know where he is hiding now. I guess he must have changed his appearance and knows that we are looking for him." The shrimp soldier's intelligence is not high, and it is not easy to say these words. How can he think about it? Chen Qingyun has the magic talisman and other means in his hand. The methods of immortal cultivators are endless, and they are much smarter than you think. Maybe you won't even recognize them when they pass by you. Protector, she glanced at the shrimp soldier, then glanced around again. When he stopped at Chen Qingyun, he paused slightly. In the past few years, how come so many sharks have come to the Sea of Sharks? You leave Xinghai alone, but you just like to run towards us. Do you really think that they can break into that ruins if they want? It doesn't matter what your strength is. Protector, she said, dissatisfied, looking at Chen Qingyun with deep contempt in his eyes. A shark from the Xifu period wants to get involved in the ruins of the ancient sect. It is really an idiot's dream. If he goes there, he will be reduced to cannon fodder. Chen Qingyun is completely in the left ear and out the right ear. The person he was scolding in this strange way was the shark, not himself, so there was nothing to refute. But what concerned him was the ruins the other party mentioned. What did this refer to? The ruins of the sect. There's no point in thinking about it now. The mystique continued to be used, completely annihilating Chen Qingyun's aura. Protector she did not notice, and after releasing Chen Qingyun, he patrolled the surrounding area again and asked other subordinates about the investigation results. After passing this round of interrogation, Chen Qingyun was once again interrogated by several demon cultivators from Kuish Cave during the subsequent journey, and he also passed the test smoothly. So far, Kuish Cave has dispatched a total of 11 guardians, each leading their troops to conduct a blanket search. These men and horses, placed on the surrounding sea area of 100,000 miles, can be said to be extremely scattered, just a drop in the ocean. But Kuishedong has used its own advantages. As soon as the wanted order was issued, a guardian position has been added as a reward, not just for his own men. Many other demon cultivators also heard the news and participated. In this way, it is equivalent to about 60% of the demon cultivators in the entire ruled sea area of Kuishedong. This is no different from Chen Qingyun walking through the market, being watched closely and searched everywhere by many market people. With the mysterious cover, Chen Qingyun's next journey is like a duck in water. In this way, more than 3 months later, Chen Qingyun experienced more than 500 demon cultivators and finally entered the realm of Xinghai. Call. After more than a year, Chen Qingyun breathed a sigh of relief when he returned to the familiar Sea of Stars. At this time, looking at this blue sea, I just feel more friendly. The communication talisman that had been kept quiet on his body had returned to the Sea of Stars and happened to be within the farthest communication distance. At this time, Several messages were also transmitted. The person who summoned the person was Chen Xianming, who asked about the current development status of some families, referring to what Chen Qingyun meant. As one of the only 2 golden elixir monks in the family, Chen Qingyun has a very high status in the family, no less than the patriarch. If one day Chen Xianming wants to retreat behind the scenes, his first choice would be to pass on the position of patriarch to Chen Qingyun. After looking at each one carefully and analyzing it, Chen Qingyun responded to the summon seriously. Chen Xianming received a reply, and soon after, another subpoena was sent. This subpoena is related to Liu Zilin. Qingyun, last month I heard Zhuxiantu mention that there is a new deacon in Lingbaoshan who is pursuing Liu Zilin. I heard that the man has a good background and is the cousin of Taoist Qiyuan. I wonder if you have heard about this. If you have time, you'd better go to Lingbao Mountain. You have to take care of your wife. But, I heard Zhuxiantu mention it later, saying that Liu Zilin ignored the guy at all, didn't meet him in person, and declared to the public that he belonged to her, and then started to retreat. That guy has been rejected, so he doesn't dare to offend Liu Zilin too much. I don't know what the situation is now, so I just want to make people laugh. After seeing this message, Chen Qingyun reviewed his understanding of Qiyuan Taoist in his mind. The other party's cousin, the new deacon of Lingbaoshan, is a monk from Zaifu. Chen Qingyun laughed it off. Zaifu Qi is still a Taoist cousin, not to mention such a small role. Even if a Taoist priest sees him, he must be respectful. Earlier, after the training in the secluded Immortal Palace, on the flying boat in Lingbao Mountain, I could still vividly remember the flattering scene of Taoist Qiyuan. This kid, not caring about his own brother, is chasing me? Chen Qingyun simply replied, saying that he knew. He still believed in Liu Zilin very much. He took out Liu Zilin's communication talisman and prepared to inform her that he would go to Lingbao Mountain to exchange some Qingguang stones. At this time, several messages also emerged from the communication talisman. Qingyun, I have advanced to the 4th level talisman maker. You haven't been to Lingbao Mountain for some time. Come and sit down when you have time. Qingyun, I took Nianwei to your family not long ago and stayed with her for a few days. I learned that you were not on Lingjian Island or Zhenhai Island. Where did you go? Qingyun, a deacon in the sect is pestering me. I have clearly rejected him in public. Remember to come and find me when you have time. Qingyun, are you there? I just contacted Qingyun. It turns out that you went to the 10,000 Monsters Sea to look for Huoyang Wood. Be careful. A total of 5 messages were sent at this time, and the interval between each other was 2 or 3 months. The earliest one was a year ago. The most recent one was more than a month ago. Chen Qingyun looked at it and a smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. He sent a reply, briefly describing his recent itinerary and saying that he would come to Lingbao Mountain in the near future. After the message was sent, Liu Zilin's reply came immediately. Chapter 631 Return to Lingbao Mountain. Okay, I'll wait for you. The content of the message was very simple, but her tone was mixed with excitement and expectation. Liu Zilin said to the outside world that she was in seclusion and would not see outsiders, but she replied to Chen Qingyun in seconds, as if she was always guarding the message talisman. 2 days later, after changing back to her original form, Chen Qingyun drove the Panlong and headed towards the Black Dragon Sea teleportation array. He had to go to Lingbao Mountain first to exchange some Qingguang stones from there. Then he went to Bai Hai and shared the beast taming experience with Chen Dohai, and then exchanged a large amount of white stones on the way to refine the puppet hall as soon as possible. My strength is still too weak. If it weren't for the assistance of Baoang and Jiuyu, plus the advantage of magic weapons, I don't think I would have returned to the Star Sea so soon. I must still be in the 10,000 Monsters Sea, hiding from those demon cultivators in Kuish Cave. This puppet hall still needs to be refined, and the strength of Baoang and Jiuyu must be improved a lot. 2 months later, Chen Qingyun came to Lingbao Mountain and found Liu Zilin. After not seeing each other for more than a year, the two met again and had a lot to say. Liu Zilin told him everything she knew, and told him everything she had experienced and done in the sect over the past year. The most noteworthy thing is that her attainment in making talismans has reached the 4th level lower grade, and she is already the chief talisman maker in Lingbao Mountain. The 4th level talisman maker is a first-tier talisman maker, not to mention in Lingbao Mountain, but in the entire Xinghai. This made Chen Qingyun think of the teleportation order, so he mentioned the Void Crystal. As far as I know, the Void Crystal you mentioned has only appeared once in Lingbao Mountain, and it was 102 years ago. At that time, it was taken into the pocket of the previous head and used for refining. If you want to find the Void Crystal in Lingbao Mountain, I predict that the hope is slim. We still have to go to the Sea of 10,000 Monsters to get more hope. Liu Zilin's cognition is higher than Chen Qingyun's, and she has reached a very high level in distinguishing various natural treasures, elixirs, and elixirs. She has seen many treasures and collections of classics that Chen Qingyun has never heard of, and knows how to distinguish them. This is also one of the benefits of being a core cultivator of the sect, with a wide range of knowledge. It involves the 10,000 monster sea again, and Chen Qingyun is actually somewhat accustomed to it. Fortunately, he will always be active in the 10,000 monster sea many times in the future. The farther Leiling Sea and Jihai are also to be visited. The Void Crystal Stone should continue to be paid attention to. The current priority is to refine the life-defining magic weapon that fits oneself. Chen Qingyun briefly informed of his itinerary in the past year or so, and mentioned that he was wanted by the Kuish Cave, and wanted to learn more about the 10,000 monster sea from Liu Zilin. Knowing that Chen Qingyun was wanted by the 10,000 monster sea forces, Liu Zilin felt sorry for him and did not ask the reason in detail. Instead, she took the lead in caring about Chen Qingyun's physical condition and whether he was injured. After getting Chen Qingyun's affirmative reply that everything was fine, she breathed a sigh of relief. At the same time, Chen Qingyun did not hide and told that his cultivation had reached the middle stage of the Golden Core. You have gone through hardships and dangers in the 10,000 monsters sea, and you deserve to have your strength improved quickly. I don't know much about the Kuish Cave, and this is the first time I've heard of it. Liu Zilin said, if you hadn't told me this, I wouldn't have known what other forces there are in the 10,000 monsters sea. In terms of mastering the information of the 10,000 monsters sea, she is not as good as Chen Qingyun, and it is all because Chen Qingyun has access to this level of information after becoming a patrol envoy. In response, Chen Qingyun took out the map of the 10,000 monsters sea and explained it in detail to Liu Zilin. After learning that the 10,000 monsters sea is a place where demon cultivators, magic cultivators, and immortal cultivators can show their strengths, and any of them can send out 30% to 40% of their strength to sweep across the Star Sea, Liu Zilin was surprised. If the 10,000 monsters sea is so amazing, then the other Leiling Sea and the Mermaid Sea are not inferior. Not bad. Chen Qingyun nodded. Just from the overall strength of the 10,000 monsters sea, it can be inferred that the other 5 seas have their own strengths and will not be weak. Only their Xinghai is the weakest one. The two chatted on this topic for more than an hour, and Chen Qingyun described in detail what he saw and heard in the Wanyao Sea. After Chen Qingyun finished speaking, Liu Zilin did not hide anything and began to take the initiative to report recent developments, including the pursuit of Qian Daoran's cousin. This person is called Wan Lang. Because his father married into the family, he took his mother's surname. He opened up Zaifu a year ago and became the new deacon of Lingbao Mountain. Because Wan Lang has Qian Daoran's backing, he is also a little famous in Lingbao Mountain and is called the leader. Compared with Qian Daoran's low-key and clever. This Wan Lang is the opposite. He likes to act in a high profile and show off, and his brain is a little bit not very bright. Liu Zilin has long been accustomed to this kind of pursuer. She has always cut the Gordian knot and directly rejected it without giving any chance. Since she joined Lingbao Mountain, she has met many suitors. Zhu Yurong's status as a disciple makes many fellow disciples want to marry her, which is normal. In this regard, Wan Yanren and Zhu Yurong will also help drive away those suitors, until Chen Qingyun appears, and the two began to match each other for the first time. Chen Qingyun did not take Wan Lang seriously, and said calmly that he believed in Liu Zilin, and she could handle it herself. Chen Qingyun changed the subject and asked about the Qingguang stone. Among the main materials, only the white stone and the Qingguang stone need to be collected. In this regard, Liu Zilin said that Lingbao Mountain has recently produced a batch of Qingguang stone. Chen Qingyun stayed in Liu Zilin's cave, waiting for this batch of ore resources. Lingbao Mountain produces and sells its own products, and has established trade relations with major families and the other four sects, mostly for the business of refining equipment. This Qingguang stone vein was discovered and mined by Lingbao Mountain more than 100 years ago. The vein can produce Qingguang stone of grades 2 to 4, which are mainly used to refine high-level storage rings and treasure ships. What Chen Qingyun needs is a 4th-level Qingguang stone. According to the 300,000 good deeds in the Hunyuan order, about 25 pieces of 4th-level Qingguang stone can be exchanged. Chen Qingyun is thrifty and will certainly not start to refine a huge puppet hall. Only about 10 4th-level Qingguang stones are needed, and with other materials, the puppet hall can theoretically extend to a height of 100 meters and cover an area of about 600 square meters. If it is a little bigger, more Qingguang stones will be needed, so there is no need to make it so big. After all, Chen Qingyun can strengthen and upgrade the puppet hall himself, so good steel should be used on the blade. Liu Zilin is very smart. Even though Chen Qingyun did not explain what the exchange of the void stone was for, she guessed that it must be related to refining the life magic weapon. She was somewhat interested in what kind of life magic weapon it was, and took Chen Qingyun to the resource hall. Chapter 632. Go find out who Chen Qingyun is. After learning about the exchange requirements, the Lingbao Mountain deacon who received him did not say much and responded very straightforwardly. There are still 11 4th-level Qingguang stones. Senior has confirmed that 10 pieces will be exchanged, and a total of 125,000 merits are required. Qingguang stones of the same grade have different sizes and prices. There are goods and the price is moderate. Chen Qingyun did not hesitate and exchanged 10 4th-level Qingguang stones at one time. Some other 2nd-level and 3rd-level materials. For example, red copper steel, velvet water stone, and combined spiritual soil. Chen Qingyun also exchanged some here, spending 69,950 merits again. After such an exchange, there were only 105,050 merits left in the Hunyuan order, which was temporarily kept. After leaving the resource hall, Liu Zilin accompanied Chen Qingyun for a walk in Lingbao Mountain. The surrounding mountains and rivers were beautiful, pavilions and towers were lined up, and even the air was filled with a fragrant scent. The action of the two walking hand in hand was seen by many Lingbao Mountain disciples. Soon, the news reached the ears of one of Wan Lang's followers. At this time, Wan Lang was drinking tea with Taoist Qi. During the conversation, he kept showing off that he had recently explored with several friends and obtained a top-grade magic weapon in a cultivator's cave. Such top-grade magic weapons are rare in Lingbao Mountain and are worth showing off. But in front of Taoist Qi, it seems very common. At that time, 80% to 90% of the cultivators who participated in the journey to the secluded Immortal Palace had a top-grade magic weapon in their hands, and they were no longer surprised. In response, Taoist Qi just glanced at the gourd in Wan Lang's hand casually and responded politely, "Not bad. Top-grade magic weapon, this is a good thing." Wan Lang was in high spirits and wanted to show off in front of Qingguang. At this time, a follower came up and said something in Wan Lang's ear. Wan Lang, who was originally smiling, immediately frowned and said unhappily, "What you said is true. Who is so capable that he dares to snatch Elder Liu from me? Really, I saw it with my own eyes." The follower was just an outer disciple, with the 6th level of Qi refining. Although he knew that Wan Lang was pursuing Liu Zilin unilaterally, it was like a toad eating a swan. But he didn't dare to say much, just wanted to see Wan Lang make a fool of himself. This kind of fool is rare in the sect. After asking for the specific location, Wan Lang waved his hand. "You, go down, I'll go over and take a look in a while." "Okay, big brother." After the follower left, seeing Wan Lang's impatient expression, Taoist Qingyun asked seriously, "Have you been pursuing elderly Yuzilin recently?" "What?" the follower said. How could it be hidden from Taoist Qingyun's ears? That was heard clearly. Wan Lang hadn't realized his brother's expression yet, and said somewhat complacently, "Ha ha ha, yes, cousin, do you think I have good taste?" When Taoist Qingyun heard this, the muscles on his face twitched unconsciously. Recalling Chen Qingyun's fame in the secluded Immortal Palace. Even Nangong Yuang had to retreat and didn't dare to compete with him. He immediately realized that he was afraid of being harmed by Wan Lang this time. Holding the last bit of luck, Taoist Qingyun couldn't help but asked in a deep voice, "When you went to pursue elderly you didn't show me, right?" Wan Lang was still complacent, mistakenly thinking that Taoist Qingyun wanted to help him and reminded him to bring out his brother's backing, so he nodded heavily immediately. "Don't worry, I said it. I said it directly at the time. I am your cousin. It is said that you should look at the face of the Buddha instead of the monk, so Yuzilin must look at me a little higher." Bang! As soon as Wan Lang finished speaking, a palm suddenly slapped the stone table hard, breaking it into pieces. "Asshole!" Taoist Qingyun was completely unable to remain calm now. He looked at Wan Lang like a fool, stared at him and shouted angrily, "You are looking for death yourself, don't drag me into it." "Huh?" Seeing his brother's angry look, he slapped the table and broke it. Wan Lang was shocked and still didn't understand why. "Brother, what are you doing? Why are you so angry for no reason?" "I'm going to be killed by you, you bastard." Even Taoist Qingyun, who was always calm and experienced, couldn't keep his mind steady at this time, and continued to scold him with a feeling of disappointment. "Why do you chase Li Yuzilin when you can chase anyone else? Why do you always like to jump into this kind of fire pit?" "Fire pit? Why do you think so?" Wan Lang was frightened and didn't dare to talk back. He just lowered his voice and explained that Yuzilin is excellent in every way. There are so many people in the sect pursuing her. I am just following the mainstream and go after you. You are really asking for trouble." Taoist Qingyun interrupted Wan Lang and asked in an almost roaring tone, "Do you know who Yuzilin belongs to?" "Who?" "You acted rashly without finding out the truth, and even dragged me, your brother, into the water. You are really my good brother." Taoist Qingyun gritted his teeth and said, not wanting to say anything more. After calming down, he began to urge, "You might as well go to the sect to find out who Chen Qingyun is. After you find out, you will naturally know how stupid you are." "Chen Qingyun?" Wan Lang murmured. He had been busy in seclusion for the past few years and had never heard of him. He couldn't help but ask back, "Is this person very powerful?" "No matter how powerful he is not as powerful as you, my brother. What should I be afraid of him doing?" The Taoist was so speechless that he glared at Wan Lang fiercely, then stood up, raised his foot, and kicked Wan Lang unceremoniously. "Stop talking nonsense and go check it out." Wan Lang was so angry that he didn't dare to say anything. He could only touch the place where he was kicked and let out an ouch before retreating in embarrassment. He did have some fair-weather friends in the sect. He randomly asked a few people that day and soon found out something. At first, he looked like he was not afraid of the sky or the earth, and he was proud of being a Taoist with his brother on his back. Finally, he was severely shaken. Liu Zilin's Taoist companion, the elder Keqing whom the master has personally won over, the third-level weapon refining master of Hunyuan Palace, the golden elixir monk from the Chen family on Linjian Island, the Jin from Star Sect. The Golden Order Star Patrolling Envoy. Oh my god. No matter which identity he held, Wan Lang felt ashamed. Just this golden elixir stage cultivation level alone instantly made his legs weak with fear, and he said that he had provoked someone he shouldn't have provoked. To poach someone from such a strong man and pursue Liu Zilin, it's no wonder that his brother scolded him for seeking death. Oh my god. It's not good for me to chase anyone. I have to chase her. Now that I've dug such a trap, Even my cousin can't save me. This. What should we do now? Wan Lang felt regretful, so he asked his gang to send a message to the outside world that day, saying that he would not pursue Liu Zilin. It was all a daydream before. I hope Liu Zilin won't take it seriously. Never take it seriously. Chapter 633, The Desire to Accept a Disciple. Lei Zhao the Elder comes out of retreat. After talking to Liu Zilin, Wan Lang also met with a Taoist priest to ask for help on what to do next. He was afraid that he might offend Chen Qingyun. If I had known this, what would I have done in the first place? The Taoist cursed a few words without politeness. When you see Chen Qingyun in the future, take a detour and don't drag me into the water. On the same day, Wan Lang announced that he would be in seclusion for a long time and hid himself, not daring to show his face again. If it weren't for the regulations of Lingbao Mountain, no fighting would be allowed anywhere except in the competition arena. Otherwise, he would have slipped out of Lingbao Mountain immediately and gone to hide outside. After Wan Lang retreated, on the day his followers released the news, many Lingbao Shan disciples heard the rumor and looked like they were watching a show. Are you tired of living in Wan Lang? People like Chen Qingyun dare to get involved? Could it be that his brain was kicked by a donkey? With him, he doesn't even look at his own virtues. He wants to be worthy of Elder Liu. His brother and other Taoists don't have the qualifications. Ha ha ha, what a living treasure. Now I'm so scared that I don't even dare to go out. Do you think Chen Qingyun will show up to scare Wan Lang? HMPH. Elder Liu is the genius of the sect in my heart. No one else is allowed to pursue him except Chen Qingyun. Some female disciples also commented, they are far inferior to Chen Qingyun. No, there is no comparison. No comparison. In Lingbao Shan, Chen Qingyun naturally heard the news and didn't pay much attention to it, nor did he have the intention to pay attention to Wan Lang. During this period, the Taoist priest came to pay a special visit and greeted him politely. He said he was here for a visit and mentioned Wan Lang's matter intentionally or unintentionally, saying that he had not known about it before. After seeing Taoist Qion's thoughts, Chen Qingyun said that he was fine with it, which made Taoist Qion secretly relieved and returned to the cave. 2 days later, outside the gate of Lingbao Mountain. Are you planning to refine your natal magic weapon this time? How long will it take to get out of seclusion? Liu Zilin asked as she was seeing him off. Chen Qingyun did not hide anything and calculated a rough time. At least 3 years, at most 5 years. What about you? What are your recent plans? When asked this question, Liu Zilin smiled slightly. I still need 5 or 6 years to refine my cultivation before I can condense the golden elixir, so in the past few years, I plan to upgrade my weapon refining skills to the 4th level. If you have anything to do, you can come to me at any time during this period. When I come to retreat and complete the alchemy, I won't be able to contact you for a few years. Good. By the way, there is one more thing. I would like to refer to your suggestion when the time comes. Liu Zilin thought of something, blinked her eyes, and said with a smile. Tell me. What's the matter? According to the sect's rules, it's time for me to recruit 2 to 3 direct disciples. As for the candidates for disciples, one of them can be recruited from outside the sect, while the other candidates need to be selected from within the sect. I like that little girl Nian very much. Why don't we let her join Lingbao Mountain and become my disciple when the time comes? She will be the top disciple. According to the rules of Lingbao Mountain, all elders of the sect must accept at least 2 direct disciples to pass on the mantle and assist the sect in cultivating talents. Regarding this rule, it is actually quite normal. Many cultivating sects do this, and many cultivating families follow suit. Because after breaking through the golden elixir stage, due to the large environment of the Star Sea, many golden elixir monks will set foot outside the Star Sea and wander outside all year round to gain experience. By that time, there will be no intention to recruit disciples and teach them. Therefore, it is the most appropriate time to recruit direct disciples and pass on the mantle during the Zaifu period. Since you have enjoyed the benefits brought by the sect, you must bear your due responsibilities and accept disciples as you should. Nianwei is lucky to be able to join your sect and be taken care of by you. It is not a bad idea to join Lingbao Mountain. Chen Qingyun nodded. The reason why he did not accept Qin Zixuan's invitation to serve as the guest elder of Lingbao Shan was because once he took over, he would have to accept at least 2 direct disciples according to the rules. This was one of the reasons for rejection. Chen Qingyun did not want to spend more time training his apprentices, but the Star Patroller did not have this rule and was quite free. Seeing that Chen Qingyun was so sensible and said that this matter was unavoidable in one word, Liu Zilin was secretly happy that she had not misjudged the person. Regarding the specific follow-up, Chen Qingyun said that he would explain it when he returned to his family and also ask Chen Nianwei for his thoughts. After chatting for a while, after leaving Lingbao Mountain, Chen Qingyun went to Qinglingfang, where he temporarily settled and found an inn to stay. Instead of returning to Zhenhai Island first, I came here. When you go out, you have to buy some first order 5 elements materials to refine more 5 elements puppets. In terms of broken magic weapons, we also need to collect some more. Currently, the remaining strengthening points in the system are 62,972 points, of which 2,447 points are accumulated by oneself, and the rest are obtained from battles in the Sea of 10,000 Demons. Being wanted by Kuish Cave made Chen Qingyun realize the importance of strength. Since one's own strength needs time to improve, then create more puppets to strengthen the 2 clones of Baoang and Jiuyu. After taking out the 2 Fire Sun trees that were the trophies of the Egret Island group, Chen Qingyun left them alone for the time being and planted them in the Blessed Land beads to temporarily preserve the aura. Next, Chen Qingyun stayed in Fangxi for half a month. Collect all the 3rd and 4th level materials and broken magic tools that can be collected, and prepare to improve the refining technique and obtain strengthening points. This large-scale purchasing action attracted the attention of the 2 Lingbao Mountain Foundation building cultivators stationed in the market. The entire Qinglingfang is under the attention of Lingbao Mountain, monitoring the dynamics in real time to prevent the devil cultivators and bandits from causing chaos, and maintaining the market order to prevent anyone from disrupting prices. Originally, the 2 were still wondering who had such a large financial capacity to purchase resources. This must be paid attention to, investigate the other party's origins, and then register and report to the sect. Later, they recognized that it was Chen Qingyun, and the 2 immediately dispelled their concerns. It's Senior Chen, he is a 3rd level refiner. It's normal to buy these things. Normal? I thought someone came to make trouble and resell resources. Well, it seems that Senior Chen is going to improve his refining attainments. I'm really envious. I wish I could refine. The 2 talked for a few words and no longer paid much attention. At the same time, in an elder's cave on Hunyuan Island. The Leizhou ancestor Wang Zongyal ended his years of retreat, and his skills improved greatly, and his cultivation was further improved to the late giant stage. As he suddenly opened his eyes, there were thunders running through his body, crackling, and his black robe moved without wind, like a black cloud of lightning and thunder. After 6 years of retreat, I finally made a great progress. Late giant stage, great. There was lightning surging on Leizhou's hair, and his whole body was filled with a violent aura. People knew at a glance that he was not easy to provoke, and he was definitely a tough character. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 634, Secret Hatred, Retreat. On the day of leaving the customs, Ancestor Leizhou took care of the things he had put on hold and was busy for a while. After he summoned the eldest disciple and learned from him about the development of the sect in the past 6 years, he had a general understanding of the development of the sect, and then he asked about his son Wang Xian's situation. What was the result of your experience in the reclusive immortal mansion? Did you remember the advice and not make enemies and cause trouble everywhere like before? Junior brother Wang Xian. This. The eldest disciple in front of him began to hesitate, as if he didn't dare to say anything. Whatever a grown man is hesitating about, just say what you have to say. Ancestor Lei Zhao frowned and couldn't stand this hesitant style. This direct disciple is named Zhao Wu. He is the eldest disciple of Ancestor Lei Zhao and has reached the early stage of Z Mansion. This person is a bit domineering and arrogant externally, but in front of Ancestor Lei Zhao, he is submissive and very respectful. I was worried that the master had just come out of confinement, and if he was informed of Wang Xian's death, he would be very angry. Zhao Wu took a deep breath, squeezed out a smile and said, Master, please be mentally prepared, junior brother Wang. Seeing his disciple's appearance, Patriarch Lei Zhao vaguely guessed something, and his brows couldn't help but frown a little tighter. Did he die in the reclusive immortal mansion? Who killed him? Before the voice fell, Zhao Wu could clearly sense that the aura of the master in front of him suddenly became uncontrollable and began to surge wildly. The violent thunder power rumbled and rolled in, as if facing a storm that had been brewing for a long time. All of a sudden, Zhao Wu's clothes and robes were all blown up, and his long hair was blown up. He felt so scared that he didn't even dare to take a breath. Yes. It is rumored that he was killed by Chen Qingyun. Chen Qingyun? Confirming that the guess was indeed correct, Ancestor Lei Zhao's face turned gloomy and he began to ask questions in a deep voice. Who is this person? Since you already knew about it, why didn't you go and avenge me at that time, but you waited until I came out of seclusion before telling you? Looking at the menacing master, Zhao Wu was so frightened that his legs weakened and he almost lost his balance, and he quickly explained. Master, I want to avenge junior brother Wang Xian all the time, but there is nothing I can do. I can only wait for master to come out of seclusion and let you make the decision. Even, you can't do anything. This Chen Qingyun is so difficult to deal with. Could it be that this person has condensed the golden elixir afterwards? After you tell me everything carefully, who told you this news? Don't hide anything. No, Luo did not dare to hide anything, and said clearly. It was Yan from Yaoang Mountain who spread the news. He saw this with his own eyes. At that time in the fire spirit realm, junior brother Wang Xian wanted to obtain a floating island, but was brutally killed by Chen Qingyun. Master, Yan was not the only witness. According to him, there were also Zhang Yingxing from Tankan Island, two brothers Pang Jing and Pang Shi from Xingzhou, and Taoist Hongrai from Hunyuan Island who all witnessed it with their own eyes. As Zhao Wu narrated, Ancestor Lei Zhao began to feel chill in his eyes, and his fists were clenched tightly. In Zhao Wu's story, it was Wang Xian who took the initiative to find trouble with Chen Qingyun and bully him. Now it's the other way around. It turns out that Chen Qingyun was the one who stirred up trouble in the first place and deliberately caused trouble for Wang Xian. Ancestor Lei Zhao didn't care at all about what was right or wrong. He only knew that whoever killed Wang Xian would have to pay for his son's life. Then, what kind of strength is Chen Qingyun? You can tell me. He was able to kill Xioner. Could it be that he is the hidden leader of Xing sect? Ancestor Lei Zhao asked, guessing that ordinary Zaifu monks could not kill Wang Xian. Whether it is magic weapons, equipment, or treasure collection, with the support of the Golden Core Cultivator, it is naturally far superior to the same level of cultivators. The talisman Xuanyuan Thunder and Lightning talisman carried by Wang Xian was enough to kill the peak cultivator of Z Mansion who was just waiting. In this experience in the escape to Mortal Mansion, there are very few monks who can possess such strength, so they have to be the top Z Mansion among the 5 major sects. Zhu Ziheng, Jizun and Qian Taoist have no grudges against Wang Xian, and they will give him a little favor, and they will not kill him even if there is a conflict. The only one who is not afraid of him is the top Zaifu of Xingzhou. Only then did the old man Lei Zhao immediately think of the people from the Xing sect. Zhao Wu shook his head and said, he is not a monk from the Star sect. This Chen Qingyun is a monk from the Chen family on Linjian Island. No, Luo slowly started talking about Chen Qingyun. At first, when he learned that Chen Qingyun was just a family monk, Patriarch Leia was filled with murderous intent and wanted to immediately go to Lingjian Island and massacre the entire Chen family. Later, when he learned that Chen Qingyun had condensed the golden elixir and became the Star Sect's Golden Order patroller, he could only suppress the murderous intention in his heart and sighed helplessly. A family monk can actually kill Xianer, condense the golden elixir, and become the star patrolling envoy of the Star Sect. Oh, this Chen Qingyun is amazing. No, Luo didn't dare to answer the question, let alone nod in agreement, so he had to explain in detail what he knew. Chen Qingyun's interpersonal relationships and recent developments were all investigated early and told to Patriarch Leia. After understanding the general situation and realizing that it was not easy to seek revenge, Ancestor Leia could only suppress his restless emotions. It concerns the star patrolling envoy. This cannot be provoked at will, let alone the level of the Golden Order. If he is killed at will, he will inevitably be traced by the Star Sect. I'm afraid there's nothing I can do this time. Then, we won't avenge junior brother Wanjiantu? Revenge. Old man Leia pondered and hesitated for a moment. Finally, reason prevailed. He shook his head helplessly and suppressed his anger. As everyone knows, the Retreat Immortal Palace is the place where the 5 major sects settle their grievances. If any of the cultivators from one of the sects dies there, the other 4 sects cannot be held accountable. This is the default rule. Xianer is not as skilled as others. I am afraid he took the initiative to stir up trouble and provoke Chen Qingyun. It is also my fault that I spoiled him too much and cultivated his arrogant and conceited character. Don't mention this matter again. Let's end it here. Chen Qingyun can achieve such achievements at such a young age. There must be a master behind him. It is not easy for you and me to practice, and we have strong enemies to deal with. Don't make too many troubles. Old Ancestor Leia was clear about grievances and is reasonable. He can see at a glance that Wang Xian has suffered the consequences, just like he was when he was young. Even if he didn't provoke Chen Qingyun this time, he would kick other iron boards in the future. Chen Qingyun has a promising future and has been recruited by Xingzong. You can't provoke such a character. But this grudge is remembered. If you change your mind in the future and really want to take revenge, you can only do it with the help of outsiders. You must get rid of yourself and not leave any clues. Hearing this, Luo felt even more unconfident. Even the master couldn't do anything with Chen Qingyun, so he couldn't be a clown. You should withdraw. As for Chen Qingyun, you should be smarter and avoid him. Don't target the Chen family, so as not to be caught and provoke Chen Qingyun. Yes. Chapter 635 Family Rewards, Refining the Puppet Hall. Let's talk about this. Chen Qingyun left Qingguang Feng and traveled on the sea for another half a month. Then changed his route and flew to Beihai to meet Chen Douhai. Chen Douhai has been living in the Beishi mine for a long time, and his white hair has increased a lot. One is the increase in age, because he built his foundation with blood condensation true essence Gong at the beginning, and his cultivation could not make any progress, and his body was old. Another point is that he began to worry about his future path and the bottleneck of the way of beast control. The Chen family has no inheritance in the way of beast control, and is still following the Zhu family to cross the river by feeling the stones. The Zhu family's beast control attainments are also limited, and they have not reached the 3rd level, at most the 2nd level of middle quality. It is better to rely on oneself than on others. Chen Douhai began to worry about where to get more knowledge in the subsequent beast control. Until Chen Qingyun arrived and took out the beast control experience, the family elder was a little curious at first. After flipping through it for a while, his face soon showed excitement, and he was as happy as a child. So many beast control experiences, covering the 1st to 3rd level of the upper level. This is incredible. The family is now lacking this kind of knowledge. After suppressing his excitement, Chen Douhai asked Chen Qingyun about the origin of this book. This thing is too precious. Chen Qingyun did not hide it and told the truth, which led Chen Douhai to seriously remind him that in the future, when he encounters enemies in the Sea of 10,000 Monsters, He must not be merciful and give the opponent a chance to take advantage of him. Chen Qingyun smiled and nodded. Since breaking through to the giant stage, the family cultivators have been more respectful to him, especially those younger generations, who will respectfully address him every time they see him, and they are not frivolous at all. The improvement of cultivation has brought Chen Qingyun a higher status, and at the same time established some majesty in the family. Now, only Qingyun, Qingnan, and even Dehai, who are of the same generation and elders, can still seem a little intimate and not so unfamiliar. After spending a day in Baihai, chatting with Chen Dehai, and waiting for the old man to copy a copy of Experiences in Taming Beasts, Chen Qingyun explained his other purpose. This time, he wanted to purchase a batch of white stones. You want a lot of white stones? Are you going to refine a large magic weapon? Chen Dehai asked curiously, taking out a booklet that recorded in detail the amount of white stones mined in the past 2 months. 6th, Grandpa, I am talking too much again. If you don't say it, I shouldn't ask too much. There are some reserves of this white stone at present, and more are mainly sold to Lingbao Mountain. How many do you want? 3,000. Okay. The white stone vein has been mined for so many years, and there are still reserves of this amount. Chen Qingyun began to ask about the price, indicating that he could buy it directly from Chen Dehai. Chen Dehai heard this and looked at Chen Qingyun with a smile. Don't worry about the price. Chen Dehai took out the communication talisman and immediately started a communication with the family to contact Chen Xianming. After a moment, Chen Dehai showed a look of as expected on his face when he saw the content of the reply. What's the price from the family? Chen Qingyun asked. Chen Dehai shook his head and smiled. Just as I expected, you don't have to pay. The family replied, let alone 3,000 white stones, even 30,000, if you want, we can give it to you for free. This result was unexpected by Chen Qingyun. He thought he had heard wrong for a moment when he got white stones from the family for free. Haha, Qingyun, the clan leader means that you have made great contributions to the family over the years, and giving you some white stones is nothing. If you don't believe it, look at the reply. Chen Qingyun took the communication talisman and took a closer look. It was really as Chen Dehai said. The one who replied was Chen Xianming. The content of the reply was very simple. Chen Xianming summoned several family leaders, and everyone talked about this matter together. They all agreed to give Chen Qingyun 3,000 white stones for free. The family's feedback is not only now, but also in the future. In the past, Chen Qingyun sent magic tools to the family cultivators, established a tool refining workshop, and exchanged the foundation pills and purple palace crystals for the family. The family has always remembered these practices and will repay them. Now that the family has the ability, they will also take Chen Qingyun forward and give the greatest help if they have the ability. The next day, Chen Qingyun accepted the gift from the family, received 3,000 white stones, and returned to Zhenhai Island. After finding King Luan and Qingyun on the island, Chen Qingyun told them that he might continue to retreat for the next 2 or 3 years. If there is anything, he can explain it to the puppet outside the tool refining room. Everything was ready. 3 days later, Chen Qingyun entered the tool refining room and began to retreat, leaving Baoang to guard outside. The materials have been collected, and in the tool refining theory, it has reached the 4th level. Chen Qingyun is more than 60% sure that he can refine the puppet hall. Through the deduction of the ancient monument of Hongwang, Chen Qingyun has demonstrated the refining process many times in his mind, as if he had refined it himself. As a deduced natal magic weapon that can fit one's body, the puppet hall has 3 effects, which are effective for both the 5 elements puppet and the 5 elements avatar. First, it can store the 5 elements puppet and the avatar, carry it with you as a container, and nurture it in the Danshan. Second, it can quickly repair the injuries and mana of the puppet and the avatar. The source of the mana recovery is provided by the spirit stone. Third, it can increase the strength of divine thoughts, and can use the puppet hall as a divine thought enhancer to control more puppets and expand the combat radius. On these basis, The puppet hall can also be enlarged and reduced, stored in a storage bag, or transformed into a huge palace located on the ground. Later, as the power of the puppet hall increases, more effects can be developed. For now, it is enough to make Chen Qingyun tempted. This refining also concerns whether he can be promoted to a 4th level refiner. Chen Qingyun took out a number of materials such as Dangsu Divine Stone, Star Sand, Fire Sun Wood, and Qianzai Liaxun. 2. Refine a 4th level magic weapon. You need the fire of a giant and cultivator to smelt the 4th level materials, otherwise, you can only use a high-level refining furnace or the spiritual fire of heaven and earth for assistance. Not only can I use the fire of a giant and cultivator, I also have plenty of spiritual fire of heaven and earth, so this time, I must succeed as soon as possible. Good, things take time, even if it takes more time, it's worth it. Chen Qingyun took a deep breath, feeling quite confident. For this refining, every link must be carefully operated and every detail must be done well. The first step in building the puppet hall is to build the basic frame. First, a fire yangwood is placed on the basic frame, and the entire fairy hall is the size of a large tripod, which can be changed to larger or smaller later. When refining, Chen Qingyun feels that this size is the most appropriate. Chapter 636, The Fairy Palace in the Palm. The Spirit of Fairy. Under the precise control of divine thoughts, threading the needle is very easy. Not to mention completing the subsequent construction bit by bit in the house structure as big as a cauldron. Controlling the puppet to shrink the body to do this can also do it well. After the frame of the palace is built, the next step is to fill the materials, further build, and continuously improve. This refining process is very similar to building blocks. It requires the refiner to melt the materials with superb refining skills, and then integrate them into it and engrave the array pattern. With the birth of the prototype of the palace, Chen Qingyun directly used the purple and blue divine flame. Directly used the spiritual fire to melt the Dangsu divine stone, star sand, Qingguang stone and purple ink copper. With the blessing of the spiritual fire, the smelting process is extremely smooth, greatly saving about half of the time. The three materials are melted together, and Chen Qingyun maintains control with divine thoughts, slowly injecting them into the palace frame to strengthen the skeleton. Among them, a large amount of white stone, a small amount of red copper steel, velvet water stone, and spiritual soil are needed to build walls and rubble to perfect the shape of the palace. Not only for the puppets, Chen Qingyun himself also put himself in their shoes and built a retreat room and bedroom in the palace for living and cultivation needs. A simple reception place is not set up for the time being, and it will be discussed later. Finally, the Qianzai Liaxun is used for fusion, the wall is painted, and the entire palace is completely refined into one. Qianzai Liaxun has the effect of preventing corrosion and weathering, concluding the toughness of various materials, and increasing strength. At the same time, with the Qingguang stone, it can further achieve the effect of scaling the size, which is more convenient to carry or use. In addition, because it is a 4th level life magic weapon, it is more difficult to refine than the 3rd level. Some special materials are needed to give it aura and inject soul to achieve the effect of connecting with one's own blood. Chen Qingyun browsed the high-level materials obtained in the Immortal Mansion, selected the Fantasy Beast True Spirit and the Earth True Spirit, and began to integrate them into the palace. Time passed unknowingly, and the model of the entire puppet palace was refined. The last step is to engrave the array pattern, which is the most challenging time for the refining skills. Empowerment array pattern, spirit stone array pattern, storage array method, shrinking array pattern, enlarging array pattern, etc. A total of more than 500 array patterns are linked together, and they are jointly endowed on this palace, giving birth to the power of magic weapons step by step. Such a large number of array pattern engravings, ordinary 3rd level refiners feel headaches when they see it. At most, you need to rest after engraving half of the number, and your mind will not be able to keep up. But Chen Qingyun's mind is full, and his theoretical knowledge is solid. He engraved one by one perfectly, and his movements are smooth. After the engraving of the array pattern is completed, the refining room often lights up, stirring up circles of spiritual charm. Spring comes and goes, and flowers bloom and fall. Unknowingly, 3 years have passed in this set of immersive refining process. With the end of the last array pattern, Chen Qingyun finally completed the refining. A bronze palace was completely formed, exuding a breath far beyond the magic weapon. It was not bound by gravity and was suspended in the air. On the surface of the palace, there was still the flame of the purple-green divine flame. It was not until the flame faded and the temperature dropped that it shrank to a miniature size and flew back to Chen Qingyun's hand. After 3 years of refining, the puppet palace has finally been refined. Chen Qingyun's understanding of the art of refining has reached a higher level, and he broke through to the 4th level lower grade refiner in one fell swoop. At the 4th level, it is already the top batch of refiners in the Star Sea. Looking at the master list of Lingbao Mountain, it is enough to rank in the top 3. Looking at the puppet palace in front of him, Chen Qingyun smiled. With a thought, the puppet palace began to shrink slowly, becoming the size of a palm, and then expanded again, filling most of the refinery room. Due to the limitation of the venue, it was not easy to operate. Chen Qingyun put away the puppet palace and flew out of the refinery room with a sword light. His flying figure turned into a stream of light, attracting the attention of many mortals of the Chen family outside the weapon refining workshop. Yes, it seems that the Immortal Master has come out of retreat. That's the weapon refining room. It's him, it's him. It's been 3 years, and the Immortal Master Chen has finally come out of retreat. I don't know what powerful immortal weapon he has refined this time. Amidst several discussions, Chen Qingyun flew to the beach of the island, waved his hand, and the puppet palace flew out of his palm and began to change and grow. A huge palace began to appear, showing a height of 100 meters and an area of more than 600 square meters, which has reached the maximum range of expansion. Chen Qingyun was so excited about this puppet palace that he gave it a common low-key name, the Immortal Palace. The entire Immortal Palace appeared instantly, as if it was generated out of thin air, standing on the beach. This appearance startled the flocks of seagulls foraging around, and they flapped their wings and left in panic. They couldn't understand why a palace had fallen on the previously empty beach. There had never been one before. Not only this group of seagulls. A crab was strolling leisurely on the beach, basking in the sun. The next moment, it was covered by a large shadow above its head. It was so scared that it ran away and was almost crushed. When the fairy palace landed steadily on the ground, the crab was shocked. Out of curiosity, it turned its big round eyes and stretched out a foot to touch the fairy palace in front of it. 2 clangs, copper, very solid. Boom. Due to the soft texture of the entire beach, the huge pressure brought by the landing of the fairy palace caused a large area of sand within a kilometer radius to suddenly sink down without being able to withstand the huge force. The crab was frightened and immediately ran away, retreating back to the sea, not daring to show up again. In the past few days, he dared not step on this beach again. Chen Qingyun did not pay attention to the reactions of the seagulls and crabs at this time, and his eyes were firmly on the fairy palace. After looking around, the door of the palace slowly opened and Chen Qingyun stepped into it. The appearance of the palace was already very familiar. Every brick and tile, every corner, and every piece of floor were carefully made. In the 4 pillars of the fairy palace, Chen Qingyun placed a top-grade spirit stone on each of them, a total of 4, worth 4 purple mansion crystals. These 4 top-grade spirit stones, as energy supplies, are the largest source of mana recovery while maintaining the operation of the fairy palace. A large amount of gas spread out from the 4 pillars, like a stream of white fairy air, which looked quite extraordinary. Chen Qingyun named it the fairy air. Chen Qingyun, his clone, and the 5 elements puppets can directly absorb the fairy air to restore their mana. Take out their puppets such as Bang, Jiuyu, Poseidon, Fire God, Xuanwu, and Tanlai, and arrange them neatly in the hall, bathing in the fairy air. For a moment, the puppets and clones were like heavenly soldiers and generals, with tall and majestic images, full of unchallengeable majesty. Chapter 637 Strengthening Golden Core Peak. Now their puppets and clones have a place to live, and the existence of these fairy spirits can also serve as a source of restoring mana. As long as the fairy spirit is not enough, you can use high-grade spirit stones, or better, top-grade spirit stones to supplement it. The fairy spirit is achieved through the mysterious array pattern, and being able to do this is also a manifestation of the ability of a 4th-level weapon refiner. Chen Qingyun went to the retreat room and bedroom again, and then walked out with satisfaction. When he came outside again, his mind moved, and the fairy palace began to shrink, turning into the size of a palm, and flew back to Chen Qingyun's hand. Go! With an order, all the puppets and the 6 clones flew out of the fairy palace one by one, standing neatly in front of them, with no concealment of their aura. Compared with the past, this way of using the 5 elements puppets to fight is much simpler and more convenient. With a fairy palace in hand, all puppets can be released instantly. Including the later stage, expanding the number of puppets, as long as there are enough resources. It is not a problem for the soul to bear it. It is no exaggeration to say that in the later stage, Chen Qingyun can store puppets in the entire fairy palace. When fighting, it is enough to mobilize a large team to encircle and suppress the strong enemy. It is not a fantasy to sweep a giant in force overnight. The fairy palace itself is a low-grade life magic weapon, which is connected with one's own mind and can be regarded as a part of the Tao body, and there is no difference between them. Collect. With another order, these puppets, the 2 clones received the order, and one by one shrank their bodies obediently, flew back to the fairy palace, and stood neatly on both sides of the main hall. The puppets can be retracted and released freely, which is much more convenient. The next step is to test the number and range of puppet control. In terms of quantity, because the strength has reached the middle stage of Jinden, the soul has improved again. With the current soul strength, 400 magic weapons can be controlled at the same time. For the life magic weapon, up to 150 can be controlled. In other words, without using the effect of the Immortal Palace, 500 Purple Mansion Peak puppets can be controlled at the same time for combat. A 4th-level puppet can control 150 puppets at the same time. This is the limit if it is not based on the Immortal Palace. Now that I have the Immortal Palace as a medium, in theory, the number of puppets I can control can be greatly increased. Based on the control of the soul, through the Immortal Palace, the 3rd-level puppet can increase by another 100, and the 4th level can further increase by 50. The number of controls has increased significantly at once, and the control distance has increased by about 30%. The 3rd-level puppet has increased from 90,000 meters to 120,000 meters. The 4th-level Wanjiantu, because they are clones themselves, the control range shows a surge, and the combat radius can reach 100 miles. This distance is enough for Chen Qingyun to hide behind the scenes and kill the enemy with puppets and clones without having to set foot in the battle area in person. The Immortal Palace has been refined. The next step is to continue to refine the clone. I will continue to retreat in the next 2 years. The strength of Wanjiantu will be improved to the late Jinden stage or even the peak of the Jinden stage as soon as possible. After making up his mind, Chen Qingyun secretly put away the Immortal Palace with excitement and prepared to take a few days off. After 3 years of retreat, he did feel a little bored. Looking at the communication talisman on his body, there were 2 new communication contents. One was Liu Zilin's daily inquiry, caring about Chen Qingyun's progress in refining. She has successfully come out of retreat and promoted to the level of a 4th-level refiner. 4th level, lower grade, I have been promoted smoothly like you. Chen Qingyun replied and chatted with Liu Zilin for a few words. The second communication talisman, the one left by Chen Qingfeng, brought good news. After a year and a half, Chen Qingfeng lived up to expectations and successfully opened up the Purple Mansion. So he immediately sent the good news to Chen Qingyun, full of excitement and gratitude. On one side, Liu Zilin broke through to become a 4th-level weapon refiner. On the other side, his second brother became a Purple Mansion cultivator, which made Chen Qingyun smile. He sent a message back to congratulate Chen Qingfeng and chatted with him for a few words. Chen Qingfeng had actually conveyed this news to the family, which made Chen Xianming and others happy. In the next year, Chen Qingyun said that he would earn merits to return to Chen Qingyun. Chen Qingyun did not refuse this. He really needed merits. He had to go to Xingzong to exchange resources and refine magic tools to accumulate enhancement points. He also had to refine some 3rd level and 4th level magic tools. 3 days later, early in the morning, Chen Qingyun returned to the weapon refining room and began to invest in the enhancement of magic tools. After more than 10 years of accumulation, excluding daily consumption, the number of spirit stones on Chen Qingyun has reached more than 5 million. And all kinds of magic tools are also dazzling. The annual share of hematite and the weapon refining workshop provides a stable source of ore and magic tools, so there will be no shortage of magic tools to decompose. Chen Qingyun decomposed various 2nd level, 3rd level, and top-grade magic tools obtained from the Immortal Mansion, and so on, and the strengthening points soared all the way. Baoang and Jiuyu are naturally the first choice for strengthening. The magic tools on the ground were decomposed, and Chen Qingyun began to focus on strengthening Baoang. After deducting 48,384 points of strengthening points, Baoang's body was surging with golden light, and the danshan in his body suddenly shook, becoming more solid and round. Instantly, this clone stirred up a strong aura that penetrated the heavens and the earth, which shocked Chen Qingyun. Late, Jinden. Although the strength improvement was simple and crude, it required a lot of strengthening points, and half of the obtained strengthening points were consumed at once. In order to continue to improve, Chen Qingyun took out all the broken magic tools. In the next 6 months, he began to use red iron and various materials to refine magic tools and magic treasures. After a lot of filling, he finally gathered more than 100,000 strengthening points, and then continued to strengthen Baoang. Buzz buzz buzz. The golden elixir in Baoang's body glowed, and the aura on his body rose rapidly, reaching a heart-pounding level, more awe-inspiring than before. Chen Qingyun could clearly sense that the strength of his clone was showing a 3-fold increase in power. In the entire refining room, all the spiritual energy of heaven and earth gathered together, just like a whale sucking water, and madly flowed into Baoang's body. The aura of the 8 desolations was attracted by the powerful and majestic golden core, causing a small-scale abnormal movement. Buzz. The golden core vibrated. The peak of the golden core stage. The first clone has reached the peak of the golden core stage. This achievement made Chen Qingyun's face full of ecstasy, and he could hardly suppress his excitement. Ha ha ha, the peak of the golden core stage, it's done. After consuming nearly 1,000 magic tools and strengthening the 8 desolations twice in a row, he finally had a significant harvest. It was all worth it. Chapter 638, Refining a New Avatar. Strengthening Points, 35453. Looking at the remaining strong and bad points, Chen Qingyun looked at the system panel again. Hanging Soul-Slashing Sword, 4th level middle grade Heavenly Shield, 4th level middle grade 10,000 Swords, 3rd level top grade Sky Void Sword, 3rd level top grade Aurora Blade, 3rd level top grade Vanxium Tan Long Ding, 3rd level top grade Demon Binding Lock, 3rd level top grade Black Tortoise Puppet, 3rd level top grade. Many magic tools were neatly displayed, as many as more than 60 pieces. Among them were Sea God, Fire God, Black Tortoise and other puppets, Luan Bird, Flamingo, Wind-Splitting Blade, Kingsu Umbrella and so on. Chen Qingyun decided to keep some magic tools, and most of the other 1st to 3rd level magic tools were decomposed into strengthening points. At the 4th level, the consumption of strengthening points is huge. Continuing to acquire strengthening points by purchasing damaged magic tools is already a drop in the bucket. Chen Qingyun calculated it. To strengthen the best magic weapon to the life magic weapon, 12096 strengthening points are required. It takes 24,192 points to upgrade from a low-grade 4th grade to a medium-grade 1. It takes 48,384 points to upgrade to a high-grade 1. It takes 96,768 points to upgrade to a better grade 1. With such a large number, It is already very difficult to accumulate by simply purchasing broken magic tools. The broken magic tools that can be circulated and sold on the market are usually of the first and second grades. Occasionally, if you are lucky, you can encounter a few third-grade magic tools, but this is still a rare occurrence. The maximum enhancement point benefit brought by a first-grade magic tool is only 7 points. The minimum for the second grade is 21 points, and the maximum is 168 points. For the third grade, the minimum is 504, and the maximum is 4032. According to the calculation of purchasing first-grade broken magic tools, the enhancement points that can be brought are negligible for upgrading the life magic tool. For the second grade, the number is much less than that of the first grade. Basically, there are only 2 or 3 out of 10 broken magic tools. Not to mention the third grade, 1 out of 100 is good. After the magic weapon of the Purple Mansion Cultivator is damaged, many of them will choose to find a weapon refiner to repair it, and continue to use it after repairing it. They will not sell the magic weapon for such a small amount of spiritual stones. With this calculation, it is indeed slow to purchase broken magic weapons to obtain enhancement points, and a more efficient method must be thought of. Chen Qingyun's mind was racing, and soon he had the answer. That is to decompose the 3rd level or even 4th level magic weapon. How to obtain it? It is definitely not cost-effective to buy it, so you have to refine it yourself, or get it from the enemy. Needless to say, the 3rd level magic weapon, Chen Qingyun can easily refine it now, which also saves money. It's nothing more than collecting materials by yourself and spending some time. The 4th level life magic weapon, if you decompose it casually, you can get at least tens of thousands of enhancement points, which is a big deal. The advantage of being able to refine weapons is immediately reflected. There is no hesitation, thinking that Jiuyu has not been strengthened yet and is still in the middle stage of the golden elixir. Chen Qingyun can only continue to select some magic weapons for decomposition. There are more than 60 magic weapons on him, some of which have been with him for a long time and are rarely used. Chen Qingyun didn't care about the pain, so he could only choose to concentrate on doing big things and use all the good steel on the blade. Decompose the black gold flying blade, Jiang sword, wind spirit wings, stepping cloud boots, fire thunder wings, gold wire net. In the next year, use the remaining materials on him to refine some 3rd level magic tools to supplement. In this way, Chen Qingyun also collected more than 110,000 strengthening points and strengthened Jiuyu to the late Jinan. In addition, Dangsu sword was successfully promoted to a lower grade life magic weapon after being nurtured by mana. Chen Qingyun took the last part of the strengthening points of the Huashan shield and strengthened it to the upper level in one fell swoop. This level of Huashan shield can already rival ordinary top grade life magic weapons, and its defense is amazing. Finally, there are more than 13,000 strengthening points left. Chen Qingyun thought about it and decided to strengthen the Qingguang sleeves. What I lack most now is magic weapons and magic treasures. There will be a lot of enhancement points needed in the future. Purchasing them alone is just a drop in the bucket. The most efficient way is to make war money and seize them from the enemy. When fighting against a Jinan stage cultivator, as long as you seize the opponent's magic weapon, it will be at the level of your own magic weapon, at least worth 12,096 enhancement points. It is still feasible to cut off the divine connection between the opponent and the magic weapon with the Dangsu sword, and then collect it with the Qingguang sleeve. First seize the opponent's magic weapon and then further suppress the opponent. Strengthen the Qingguang sleeve. After the order was issued, the Qingguang sleeve on Chen Qingyun's right hand flashed with a dark gold light, and then converged and disappeared in the sleeve. Qingguang sleeve, 4th grade lower grade. After the grade is upgraded, the Qingguang sleeve can increase its power by nearly 4 times, and magic weapons below the 4th grade can be easily collected, as many as there are. For the same grade of the 4th grade, relying on Chen Qingyun's current strength, at most the 4th grade middle grade magic weapon can be collected. If it is controlled by Bang, the Jinan magic power is more powerful, and the effect will be better. It is not impossible to try to collect the top grade life magic weapon, and the success rate is about 50-50. With 4 life magic weapons, There are Baoang at the peak of Jiandan and Jiuyu at the late Jiandan. In the Jiandan stage, Chen Qingyun is enough to dominate the world and has few rivals. He has laid a good foundation for soul cultivation early, and 3 against 1 is enough to kill a Jiandan peak cultivator. At this stage of qi refining, the newly purchased materials have been used up, and there is not even a piece of red iron left. Only the wood charm spirit and the water spirit are left. However, the result is still very satisfactory. The Hanging Soul Slashing Sword and the Immortal Palace, these 2 items currently have no strengthening points for upgrading, and we need to refine more 3rd level magic weapons in the future to obtain strengthening points. The current grade of the Immortal Palace should be enough. I will still focus on the 8 Desolations and the 9 Netherworlds, and keep the Immortal Palace as a trump card. Now, the focus is to refine a few more clones. As long as I have more clones, no matter what danger I face, I have the capital to turn over. Among the 12 puppets, Chen Qingyun picked and chose, and finally chose the 4 puppets of Xuanwu, Poseidon, Hanmin and Danlai for refining. With the current strength of the soul, it is possible to refine 4 clones. If there are more, it will be too much, and the soul will need to be restored later. With the previous refining experience, it took 2 months, and 4 brand new clones were born, and they established an intimate connection with Chen Qingyun. At this time, it is no longer necessary to control them with the mind. Instead, they can do whatever they want like their hands and feet, and can perform any action with just one thought. Of the 6 clones, 2 are at the Jiandan stage, and the other 4 are still at the peak of the Purple Mansion stage. The effects they can bring can already realize the 5 elements attack of the 5 elements puppets, and can use the Jiandan mana to perform purple fire golden swords and various magic skills. They are already between cultivators and puppets, greatly improving Chen Qingyun's combat effectiveness. As for increasing the number of puppets, it is not possible for the time being, and the materials and strengthening points on the body are not enough. Chapter 639, Opening Up the Purple Palace, King Luan's Gift. At present, in terms of materials, there is not a single piece left. Due to the consumption of a lot of soul power, Chen Qingyun continued to retreat for about 3 months to recover the damaged soul, but he recovered somewhat. When the messenger talisman on his body sounded, Chen Qingyun said that he had collected all the good deeds he owed and was about to return them. 2 years had passed quietly. Chen Qingyun simply replied to the summons, saying that he would just return it the next time he came to Xingzong. To sum it up roughly, this time including refining the Immortal Palace and then strengthening the clone, 5 years have passed since the entire process. Chen Qingyun went to look for Chen Qingyun, and Chen Qingluan were quite surprised to see their sister again. In the past 2 years, Chen Qingluan's cultivation has taken a step further, breaking through the cultivation barrier in one fell swoop and reaching the Zaifu stage. The Chen family has added a new Zaifu cultivator. Brother, I am also a monk in Zaifu. How is your retreat going? Is it a complete success? Chen Qingluan smiled and said, in front of Chen Qingyun, he still maintained the vitality of a girl, without any reserve, and just came up to hold Chen Qingyun's arm. Everything went well. I didn't expect that in just 2 years, you have made such great progress. Compared to your sister Qingyun, it took you much longer to break through Zaifu. Chen Qingyun touched Chen Qingluan's head lovingly. Even if it is known that Chen Qingluan has top-notch talents and can practice faster than ordinary Tanlingen, he naturally has the advantage of innate Taoist qualifications and the blessing of auxiliary magic weapons such as spirit-gathering rings. But after 5 years of seclusion, my sister opened the Z mansion on her own. Chen Qingyang and Chen Qinglai, who are about the same age as her, are still in the qi refining stage. With comparison, you will know the difference. If it takes another 40 or 50 years, it is not impossible for King Luan to break through to the golden core stage. This still does not need to rely on external forces, relying on external objects such as Snow Spirit Immortal to achieve this. My innate qualifications are just a little better than Sister Qingyun's. I'm not as good as her in other aspects. Brother, please don't praise me. Chen Qingluan was very happy to be praised by his brother. I deserve to praise you, You are all great and hard-working. You are all the mainstay of the family in the future. Chen Qingyun fumbled in the storage ring and took out 2 magic weapons. Now, that you are also a monk in the Zaifu, you should also equip 1 or 2 magic weapons. I have 2 magic weapons suitable for you. You can take them and use them. One is the red and pink beach blossom miasma, and the other is the cold Qing. Chen Qingyun introduced the specific usage in detail. Chen Qingyun himself is also a weapon refiner and has reached the first level of top quality. He doesn't understand the value of 2 top quality magic weapons. She was touched in her heart and knew that she needed it, so she accepted the magic weapon without any hesitation. Thank you, brother. As soon as she finished speaking, she took out a brand new storage bag. Brother, I also have something for you. Chen Qingyun took the storage bag, smiled and asked curiously, "Oh, the gift you gave me, what's in it?" Chen Qingyun blinked his eyes mischievously, and said with a serious look, "They are all magic weapons that I don't use, and some broken magic weapons." Speaking of this, Chen Qingyun quickly explained, fearing that Chen Qingyun would dislike him for sending out the eliminated junk. "Brother, it's like this. I heard Sister Qingyun or Sister Liu mention that you have some needs for broken magic weapons. Although, like them, I don't know what you are using these magic weapons for, but they are all related to weapon refining, so I won't ask any more questions. I hope these can be useful to you, just don't be polite to me. I have accepted all the magic weapons you gave me." Seeing that his sister had this intention, Chen Qingyun accepted the storage bag and took a look inside. He found that there were more than 100 damaged magical instruments and 16 complete magical instruments. "Where did you get so many magic weapons?" This amount suddenly made Chen Qingyun's eyes brighten, and at the same time, he became curious about the origin of these magic weapons. During the 5 years you were in seclusion, I purchased some from various major cities, and some were taken from those bandit cultivators. There is nothing wrong with purchasing magic weapons from the market. Chen Qingyun can do this just to help himself. However, there were also some magic weapons obtained from bandit cultivators, which made Chen Qingyun couldn't help but ask more questions. What's going on with the magic weapon obtained from the bandit cultivator? Brother, don't worry, Sister Qingyun said that in order to strengthen my will and sharpen me, you took me to practice in the inner star sea for the first 2 years of your retreat. Chen Qingyun described the specific situation in detail. It turns out that considering that Chen Qingyun has been practicing and living in the greenhouse of Zhenhai Island for a long time, this made Chen Qingyun start to worry that when he left Zhenhai Island to travel outside and gain experience, Chen Qingyun might be easily deceived and framed because of his lack of experience in the world. This is a problem that every family will worry about. They are afraid that the younger generation will go astray and be set up and killed. Naturally, they should pay attention to it. Chen Qingyun naturally understands that strong people cannot be cultivated in a greenhouse. Chen Qingyun is also very lively and active, full of yearning for the outside world. From the initial excitement to seeing the world of the inner star sea, all kinds of monks competed, bandit cultivators, demonic cultivators lurked, and dragons and fish mixed together. In the end, after experiencing some bandit cultivators intercepting and killing, and demon cultivators appearing and harming one party, Chen Qingyun grew up very quickly, and gained a lot of experience during this period. Don't be fooled by her delicate and soft appearance, as if she is easy to bully. In fact, she is not soft at all when she really starts to fight. To gain these, Chen Qingyun's training and guidance are indispensable. In addition, the family also attaches great importance to tempering Chen Qingyun's mind. Even Chen Xianming, Chen Dalin and others often participate in it, taking her to travel around the inner and outer star seas to increase her knowledge. It is worth mentioning that Chen Qingyun is now also an elder of the Chen family, ranking 9. And is honored as the 9th elder. Chen Qingyun ranks 7th and is the 7th elder. The 8th elder is Chen Qingyun. In addition, Chen Qingyun has another gain, that is, in terms of cultivation. In addition to the family's main cultivation method, blue sea cloud water art, She also purchased a Purple Palace cultivation method Suzaku Dharma image at an auction on Yishi Island. This is a combat-type cultivation method, which uses magic power to display the Suzaku Dharma image and exert a trace of the power of this ancient sacred beast. This technique was passed down from Hanlei Ozu. According to Hanlei Ozu, it was created by imitating the famous nascent soul technique Suzaku Divine Fire technique. Chen Qingyun's innate Taoist body has a great advantage in practicing techniques, which can achieve twice the result with half the effort. Since we are talking about techniques, Chen Qingyun also has some to teach, and he wants to pass it on to King Luan. Chapter 640, Star Ring Moonblade. Chen Qingyun asked King Luan if she had practiced any other soul-related skills besides the Great Sun Visualization Sutra recommended by the family. There are a few conflicts between the same type of skills, and they cannot be practiced blindly. Especially when it comes to the soul, there can be no mistakes, so it is still necessary to ask clearly. No, I only practiced the Great Sun Visualization Sutra for soul-related skills. King Luan shook her head. That's easy. Chen Qingyun copied the Shedding Dragon Elephant Sutra and taught it to King Luan, explaining the key points of practice. At present, all the skills that Chen Qingyun practiced have been deduced from the ancient monument to make up for the shortcomings and deficiencies, and the skills are becoming perfect. As for the rest of the soul and puppet skills, Chen Qingyun had already shared a copy with the family. They are family-inherited skills and are not disclosed or disseminated to the outside world. Chen Qingyun emphasized the cultivation of the soul, and Chen Qingyun should keep up with it and not neglect this aspect of cultivation. Now Chen Qingyun, Chen Qingyun and others have practiced the Great Sun Visualization Sutra and understand the importance of the soul. Chen Qingyun only has the Thousand-Star Sword art and the primordial purple fire art that he did not pass on to Chen Qingyun. The former is because King Luan is not very interested in flying swords and rarely controls flying swords to fight, so she spends more time on other exercises. As for the latter, Chen Qingyun has a water spirit root, and cultivation conflicts with her spirit root attribute, so it is best to focus on water attribute exercises. Remembering Chen Qingyun's instructions, Chen Qingyun put away the exercises and talked in detail about the future cultivation plan. She will take one step at a time and not rush for success. After a while, in the distance, Chen Qingyun came towards him to welcome Chen Qingyun out of retreat. In the past few years, Chen Qingyun's weapon refining skills have improved again, and have reached the 3rd level middle grade, making her the 3rd ranked weapon refiner in the Chen family. The second is Chen Daoran, the 3rd level top grade. This time, she asked about Chen Qingyun's retreat. When she learned that everything was going well, she shared a 4th level weapon recipe with Chen Qingyun. Looking at the weapon recipe in his hand, Chen Qingyun's face soon showed interest. Star Ring Moonblade. This is a pair of life magic weapons, composed of star rings and moonblades, which can be used alone to control the enemy, both offensive and defensive. When the star ring is used alone, it is a defensive magic weapon that can automatically surround the body and play the role of protecting the master at all times. It can be divided into up to 12. The moonblade is mainly used for attack and killing. It has a silver-gray metallic crescent shape, which is extremely sharp and has full explosive power. This pair of magic weapons has reached the level of middle-grade life magic weapons. According to Chen Qingyun's story, it was recently found at a stall in Qingguang. This is a chance. Chen Qingyun is lucky. Chen Qingyun has quite a few magic weapons, including the 10,000 swords of the killing type, and the powerful Heaven Transformation Shield for defense. Those magic weapons are top-notch in their field, and if they can add icing on the cake now, they will naturally not be dissatisfied with having too many magic weapons. Chen Qingyun took a quick look at the recipe and found that the lowest refining grade of the Star Ring Moonblade is the 4th grade lower grade, and the better one is the 4th grade middle grade. With the current refining technique, the middle grade is definitely impossible to refine. Fortunately, the lower grade Star Ring Moonblade can be refined, and then it can be strengthened and upgraded to improve the grade and power. Seeing this, Chen Qingyun accepted the recipe without hesitation. This Star Ring Moonblade is useful to me. Seeing that it can really help Chen Qingyun looked happy. It's good if it can be useful to you. I noticed that the refining materials require 4th level Star Soul Stone and Kunwu refined copper. These two are difficult to find. Maybe we have to start from the Star Sect. The other 16 materials are not a problem. Spend more time, go to a few markets, or go to Lingbao Mountain. Maybe you can collect them all. At the beginning, when Chen Qingyun saw this recipe on the stall of a Lingbao Mountain inner disciple in Qingguang Fang, he immediately thought of Chen Qingyun, so he bought it specially. As long as it can be useful to Chen Qingyun, it is worth it. In the future, I can also refine it and use it as my life magic weapon. Speaking of life magic weapons, Chen Qingyun has some doubts about refining, and I want to ask Chen Qingyun to answer some problems I have encountered recently. Although the difference between the 3rd level and 4th level refiners is only 1 level, the gap is enough to be called a huge gap. You can imagine how powerful the life magic weapon that can be equipped on the giant and cultivator is. Looking back at the past, when I just came to guard Zhenhai Island to help the family. At that time, in order to learn the art of refining and refine the first level magic weapon, I asked the 5th sister for advice. For all kinds of doubts, the 5th sister taught me everything she knew. She even demonstrated the refining step by step and spent a lot of time to teach me. It is no exaggeration to say that without the help of the 5th sister, who guided me as a mentor, I would not have achieved the current achievement so quickly. Chen Qingyun was grateful and naturally would not refuse the 5th sister's advice. He patiently opened his mouth to answer questions and gave solutions. After more than half an hour, Chen Qingyun suddenly became enlightened. He felt that his thoughts became clear and his understanding of refining was improved a bit. Chen Qingyun listened with great interest on the side. Although he had not reached the level of a 3rd level refiner and did not understand many theories, he was not at the same level as his brothers and sisters. But he could understand a little bit and gained a lot of knowledge. Since we are talking about this, Chen Qingyun took the initiative to find a topic and asked Chen Qingyun about the progress of practicing 5 elements outer body incarnation. Regarding the 5 elements puppets, Chen Qingyun has refined them. At present, there are 5 puppets in total, which are gold, wood, water, fire and earth. Because the 5 elements of heaven and earth treasures have been used for cultivation, the earth element puppet has now reached the initial stage of foundation building. The other 4 are between the 6th and 9th levels of qi refining. Such a harvest is different from the previous belief that the 5 elements puppets are useless and cannot be upgraded to improve their strength. This is all due to the help of 5 elements outer body incarnation. According to some records in the practice, the 5 elements spirit objects can be obtained to strengthen the puppets. Specifically, which 5 elements spirit objects are, such as the origin of earth, the cloud dew divine water, the essence of wood leaves, etc. Of course, in terms of strengthening efficiency, it is far inferior to Chen Qingyun's side, and it also costs a lot of spirit stones to cultivate. A puppet in the foundation building stage, this is not weak for Chen Qingyun. In terms of the 5 elements puppet, I am still far behind you. Chen Qingyun sighed. She really couldn't understand why Chen Qingyun's 5 elements puppet improved so fast when they were practicing the same technique. Purple mansion stage puppets, and there are so many of them. How did they cultivate them? Even though she wanted to know the answer in her heart, whether there was any shortcut, but seeing that Chen Qingyun didn't mention it, she was sensible and didn't ask. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 641 Red Fox House, Demonic Cultivator Rebellion, Seagulls soared on the coast, and the sound of waves kept hitting the rocks. The 3 of them walked on the beach and talked about their recent cultivation experience. Chen Qingyun served as a guide to answer the doubts the 2 women encountered in their cultivation. It is worth mentioning that since she became a patrol star envoy, Chen Qingyun has a lot more experience than before. In the past 2 years, she began to take over a task in Danxing Hall. This task was to go to Liuyan Islands to recruit major families to fight against a monster nest under the order of Xingzong. In that monster nest, there was a purple mansion period Bishuis and Shanhu who reproduced offspring and devoured the surrounding mortals and cultivators for a long time, causing trouble and causing a lot of blood and rain. Chen Qingyun led the team and recruited the 8 major families of Liuyan Islands, including the He family, the Qian family, and the Sun family, to attack together and destroy the monster nest in one fell swoop. The whole operation went very smoothly, everyone worked together to kill a total of 199 monsters. Chen Qingyun successfully completed this mission and received 9,000 points of merit as a reward. The rest of the demon pills, demon beast materials, etc. were also divided by themselves and did not need to be handed in. Chen Qingyun won 50% of them, and the remaining 50% was divided by the 8 major families of Liuyan Islands. After completing this mission, Chen Qingyun gained a lot and also realized the extraordinariness of the patrolling star envoy, who was respected wherever he went. It was really like when Long Taifeng visited the major families to convey the call for the Sea of Demons. He was warmly entertained and treated with great respect by all parties. Speaking of this, Chen Qingyun is also preparing to carry out a Danxing Hall mission in the near future to earn more merit. At present, in order to refine the Star Ring Moonblade, some materials have to be obtained from the star sect. It is estimated that it is really as the fifth sister said, and it is necessary to combine the collection of Lingbao Mountain's heritage to collect all the materials. There is also a more important point, that the Arizenji must be exchanged as soon as possible. The merits in my star order are now over 210,000. Although they can be exchanged for the Great Sun True Solution, it still takes a lot of merits to exchange for the 4th level materials. In the future, I still need to refine more magic weapons, produce and sell them myself to accumulate strengthening points. 3 days later, Chen Qingyun flew out of Zhenhai Island and returned to Lingjian Island. This time he came back mainly to mention Chen Nianhui's affairs. Talking to Chen Xianming about Liu Zilan's previous instructions, Chen Xianming smiled and stroked the beard on his chin. It's a good thing to be able to worship in Lingbao Mountain and become Liu Zilan's direct disciple. Nianhui, the little girl, has unlimited future prospects. Speaking of this, Chen Xianming smiled more and said, the little girl Nianhui can have this opportunity, and it is also inseparable from your relationship as the 6th uncle. In terms of seniority, Chen Nianhui is Chen Qingyun's niece. The fact that Liu Zilan is so fond of her naturally has Chen Qingyun's factors in it. There is no doubt about this. Chen Qingyun understood this and hoped that Chen Nianhui could seize this opportunity. If you have no objection, then just ask Nianhui again. When Zilan starts recruiting disciples during this period, let Nianhui join Lingbao Mountain and become her eldest disciple. Okay, I'll ask about this. Both of them supported this matter. Whether it can be done in the end depends on Chen Nianhui's own opinion. After returning to Lingjian Island, Chen Qingyun stayed on the island temporarily to exchange some magic tools from the family. He also had some merit points. As the eastern archipelago of the Outer Star Sea, Liuyan Islands has a prosperous economy far beyond Xingsha Islands and is one of the important economic archipelagos in the Outer Star Sea. Liuyan Islands consists of more than 500 islands, and there are a total of 16 islands with spiritual veins. Among them, on a small spiritual island, a 3rd-level lower-grade spiritual vein was born, and a Zhuxian market Red Fox Square was established here. This market was first initiated and built by the independent cultivator Red Fox. At that time, many independent cultivators were invited to trade freely here, and the prototype of the market was gradually developed, and finally it was established as Red Fox Market. On weekdays, the Red Fox Market is quite lively, and there are 2 Chonglu monks stationed all year round to maintain the order of the market. But today it has become very chaotic, like hell, full of blood. Most of the more than 3,000 mortals and more than 600 monks who live here have been beheaded. More mortals are scared and hide at home, becoming lambs to be slaughtered without any power. The surviving monks decided not to sit and wait for death, and began to fight in groups, offering various magic weapons and talismans to fight back. On the streets of the market, large groups of corpses can be seen lying, and there are 3 black figures with evil spirits, which are particularly eye-catching. They are 3 demon cultivators. In the Starry Sea, any immortal cultivation market will strictly guard against demon cultivators and prohibit them from entering, so as not to cause trouble. Once a demon cultivator appears in the market, it is no small matter. Even if there is only one, it is enough to attract attention. This time, 3 of them appeared. 2 of them are in the Purple Mansion stage and 1 is in the Golden Core stage. This instantly made the entire market fall into the hands of the demon cultivators. Looking at the cultivators who were originally stationed in the market, they did not look like they were upholding justice and maintaining order. One of them was full of demonic energy, and he kept emitting a sinister sneer. He urged a black flying nail to pierce the heads of the panicked mortals. In addition, there were 2 demon cultivators assisting on the side, controlling a black bag to absorb the heart blood in the heart of the corpse. Their movements were skillful, and it was obvious that they did this kind of thing a lot on weekdays. You really deserve to be killed. You will not die well. Xingzong will definitely kill you all. A male cultivator who was building his foundation knew that he could not escape, and he roared in grief and anger. When facing the attack of the soul-piercing bone nail, his 2 defensive magic tools could not resist at all, and they were scrapped after 2 encounters. Even when he used the shield light to block it at the end, a bloody hole was pierced in his chest. Such injuries are fatal to a cultivator who has built his foundation. This cultivator would never have thought that he had painstakingly accumulated spirit stones for more than 10 years, and today he came here to participate in a small exchange meeting to see if he could use the spirit stones to exchange for a handy magic tool. Unexpectedly, he encountered a demon cultivator who was causing chaos, blocked the entire market, and launched an inhumane massacre. What is Xingzong? When you come to the Sea of 10,000 Monsters, you are no different from a dog on the ground. The aura of this demon cultivator is so strong that he has reached the early stage of the golden elixir. Just by crushing with his aura, he firmly suppressed this casual foundation building cultivator, and completely cut off his thoughts of self-destruction and death. Xingzong will not let you go. With a scream, the giant and demon cultivator stretched out his hand and sucked this casual foundation building cultivator into his hand. In the other party's terrified eyes, he took out the other party's heart blood in one fell swoop, and then opened his mouth to swallow it, as cruel as a beast, without any humanity. Chapter 642, The Weird Old Demon. The scene of eating the blood of the heart made the remaining cultivators around feel scared, and they witnessed the cruel methods of the demon cultivators even more. This was completely not treating the enemy as a human being, and would slaughter and abuse them at will like livestock. These cultivators were panicked and scattered, and the idea of fighting in their hearts was defeated. The only thought in their minds was to survive. None of you can escape, just surrender and don't make any more meaningless struggles. The other 2 Purple Mansion period demon cultivators were also ruthless. Seeing these sprays fleeing in all directions, they suddenly aroused a stronger killing intent and showed an extremely excited look. The 2 demon cultivators used the black nails to slaughter crazily, turning into a cold black light, piercing through many mortals and cultivators, constantly collecting the blood of the heart, and working for the leader, the old demon. Hurry up, don't waste time. The group of flies from Xingzong will soon smell the scent and fly over. Although the 2 elders Zhu and Liang are still in seclusion, if they send other giant and cultivators to fight us, it will take some effort to fight. Let's fight quickly. The old demon urged. His body was pitch black, and his face was shrouded in a thick demonic aura, making it impossible to see his true face. But many cultivators at the scene already knew that this person was one of the cultivators stationed in Honghiafang City, named Miaojiantu. Miaojiantu was a demon cultivator who had been hiding for many years and reached the giant stage more than 100 years ago. Over the years, he changed his appearance, annihilated the demonic aura with the magic technique mixing, disguised himself as a purple mansion cultivator, and took the pseudonym Miaojianchu. Disguised as Miaojianchu, for more than 30 years, he became a guest elder of Chunlu and has been responsible for the garrison mission in Honghiafang City. Just before the incense stick, the old demon realized that his identity had been discovered by a purple mansion cultivator of Xingzhou, and immediately attacked another cultivator stationed in the market, Wei Dong, and mastered the market formation. The control of this formation fell into his hands, and it immediately became a huge cage that sealed the sky and locked the earth. Even if a giant and cultivator was trapped here, he couldn't escape for a while. All the communication talismans, spells, etc. were blocked by this formation, and they couldn't send out help to the outside world. At this moment, Honghiafang became a purgatory on earth. The cultivators inside couldn't escape, and the cultivators outside couldn't get in. Facing a giant and demon cultivator and 2 purple mansion minions, the cultivator with the highest cultivation in Honghiafang City was only at the peak of foundation building, and was no match at all. In less than an hour, this originally bustling market was slaughtered and became deserted. After slaughtering the last cultivator, the 2 purple mansion demon cultivators returned to the side of the strange old demon and handed over the black bag respectfully. The 2 black bags each collected the blood of more than 3,000 people. With these blood, your magical power will be able to go a step further, and it should be no problem to refine the blood soul bead. By then, how could Hunyuan be your opponent? He would have to sacrifice his disciples and kneel down to beg for mercy, becoming a prisoner. Yes, the blood soul bead is known as the nemesis of soul-like magic weapons. With this thing, it is equivalent to firmly restraining Hunyuan. No matter how this jumping clown struggles, how can he be your opponent? Master, according to the agreement, after this operation, please help us remove the bone-eating heart curse. The 2 sang in unison, flattering him. The old demon took the 2 black bags, weighed them a little, and glanced at the 2 disciples with a smile. My good disciples, are you so afraid of the bone-eating heart curse? There is no need to be so. How can I harm you as your master? I think we are still short of the last few drops of heart blood. You have to work harder. Once we have collected all the blood, I will set you free. After hearing the previous words, the 2 demon cultivators looked at each other and subconsciously prepared to search around to see if there were any fish that had slipped through the net and make up for the last few drops of heart blood. But the last sentence of the old demon shocked the 2 of them. They felt that the word liberation sounded very strange, and they always felt that something was wrong. One of them was about to respond, and the next moment, he saw the old demon with a playful look on his face, squinting his eyes and looking over. That look was like looking at a prey, which made people feel cold. The demon cultivator had been secretly paying attention. He knew that the old demon's methods were insidious and vicious, and he killed people like flies. He immediately shouted in his heart that something was wrong and hurriedly pulled away. But this approach was too late. The next second, he felt a pain in his chest and looked down subconsciously. He saw a black hand condensed by demonic energy ruthlessly piercing his chest and grabbing a blood-red beating heart. Ha ha ha. As expected, it turned out that he was just the nutrient to fill the last bit of blood in his heart. The demon cultivator suddenly laughed miserably and looked at the old demon with vicious eyes. What about regaining freedom after the success, in front of this sinister master? It was just some lies. You are playing tricks on us. Seeing this, another demon cultivator was already frightened and wanted to escape by directly launching the blood shadow escape technique, but was caught by the old demon. A cage condensed by demonic energy appeared out of thin air and locked the disciple in it. Plop. At the same time, the junior brother next to him fell to the ground. His eyes widened before he died, and his eyes happened to look over, his face full of unwillingness. No, Woogie, you are playing tricks on us. This demon cultivator, who was a senior brother, realized that begging for mercy was useless, and his fate would be the same as that of his junior brother, becoming the material for the old demon to refine magic treasures. You will not die well. He threw the Jordan to the ground, cursed angrily, and directly launched a self-destruction. Self-destruction? You are dreaming. The old demon sneered and used the black hand magic in one step. A black hand appeared out of thin air, and also grabbed the heart of the disciple with a puff, and it fell into his hand. You will not die well. When the demon cultivator died, he stared at the old demon viciously, and also died here. Originally, the three masters and apprentices colluded to slaughter the entire Red Fox market and collect the heart blood to refine magic treasures. Now, it has evolved into a fight between the black and the black. The old demon could refine the golden elixir, which inevitably led to his vicious means and cold-bloodedness. It was just a common thing for him to kill two disciples with his own hands. In his view, there was no difference between disciples and livestock. The day he began to recruit and train disciples was to prepare for the future possession of bodies, or to practice and refine magic treasures. He was also a disciple at the beginning. If he and several junior brothers had not seen through the master's captive plan in advance, they would have worked together to carefully plan for decades. Finally, they found an opportunity and launched a sneak attack when the master was seriously injured and in seclusion, and completely eliminated the master. Otherwise, the end would be the same as these two disciples. When the demon cultivators become ruthless, sacrificing disciples and Taoist partners is already commonplace, and they will not really teach their methods to their disciples, lest they become prey in turn. My good disciples, don't blame me. Isn't this the liberation you want? Hey! As the black mist dissipated, the strange old demon turned into a wisp of black mist and disappeared, leaving only corpses on the ground and this dead market. Chapter 643, Danxing Palace Mission. After staying in the family for a few days, one day, the communication talisman on his body rang. Chen Qingyun took it out and found that it was a message from Long Taifeng. As the management steward of the Danxing Palace, Long Taifeng has the contact channels of all the Patrol Star Envoys' communication talismans in his hands. He will occasionally take the initiative to contact some Patrol Star Envoys according to the affairs of the Danxing Palace. Not all tasks can be put on hold, and many need to be handled in time, which is why he will take the initiative to contact the Patrol Star Envoys. After just watching for a while, Chen Qingyun frowned and felt that the matter was not simple. Red Fox Market, Giant Island Demon Cultivator. The message was concise and described that just yesterday, a demon cultivator appeared on Red Fox Island and made trouble. This demon cultivator was called Gui Lao, with a mid-stage giant in cultivation level, and had been lurking in Red Fox Market for more than 30 years. After his identity was discovered, Gui Lao opened the formation to block the market, and took two disciples to slaughter all the cultivators and mortals in the market. The Red Fox Market was established only 100 years ago, and its scale is not as large as the Black Cliff Market. It is just a miniature market. The tragedy of the entire market being massacred by the demon cultivators immediately caused an uproar and had a very bad impact. Now, many cultivators dare not stay around the Red Fox Island. It will be difficult for the economy here to develop in the next 50 or 60 years. On the same day, the news spread throughout the Liaoyan Islands, and Xingzong was naturally the first to hear the news. According to Long Taifeng's message, this time he wanted to invite Chen Qingyun to come forward and perform a demon-killing mission together. The culprit, Gui Lao, has fled and disappeared. Fortunately, after the Red Spirit Patriarch came forward, he traced the clues and determined that it was the demon cultivators of Giant Island who were causing trouble, and locked the identity of Gui Lao. The reason why Long Taifeng sent out the invitation this time was because he found the base camp of Giant Island. That base camp was in the 10,000 Monsters Sea. According to the intention of Xingzong, this base camp is to be destroyed, and the cancer of Giant Island is completely eradicated. It just happens that I need to take over 1 or 2 tasks to earn some good deeds. Now there are ready-made tasks delivered to my door, so there is no need to hesitate. Chen Qingyun replied and informed that he would go to Xingzong to learn about the details of the task. Xingzong, Longjing area, Danxing Hall. Long Taifeng had been waiting for a long time. When he saw Chen Qingyun coming, he said a few polite words and then got straight to the point. That old demon is very thoughtful. He is willing to lower his status and disguise himself as a Purple Mansion cultivator to join Chonglu. During the time when the old demon was stationed in Honghufang, it was said that he was honest and low-key. I didn't expect that he was the demon cultivator from Jian Island. This teasing method is fierce and can hide from Chonglu's ears and eyes. Now a market has been slaughtered. This matter has caused extremely bad effects. We must never condone Jian Island again. Since they want to do it on the first day of the month, they can't blame us for doing it on the 15th. So, we decided to take the initiative this time and go to the Wanjiantu to completely eradicate the cancer of Jian Island. Hearing this, Chen Qingyun nodded. I heard before that Jian Island has moved to the Wanjiantu. You already know the location of Jian Island, right? Yes. Long Taifeng said, taking out a map and pointing to a place. Chen Qingyun followed his gaze and saw that the place pointed by Long Taifeng was located in the east of Wanjiantu, close to the northeast. There is a huge sea area, with a large spiritual island to the west. The Sea of Riot. With such a unique geographical location, Chen Qingyun immediately thought of a specific place name. Yes, the Sea of Riot. Long Taifeng nodded seriously and gave a brief introduction. The Sea of Riot is extremely dangerous. It is a famous sea area in the Sea of Thousand Monsters. It is not called this because of some natural disasters, but because there are many fugitives living there. It is extremely mixed and belongs to the no man's land. There are many wanted creatures in the Sea of Thousand Monsters. For example, the demon cultivators who offended the Penglai Fairyland, the immortal cultivators who provoked the Black Dragon Palace, and the criminals who escaped from other sea areas, etc. In order to escape being hunted down, these people will eventually choose to go to the Sea of Riot and continue to do whatever they want there. It is precisely because the Sea of Riot belongs to the no man's land that countless wanted criminals gather. The gathering of the three camps of immortality, magic and demon cultivation further intensified the conflicts and eventually turned into the largest place of riot. After learning this, Chen Qingyun's previous doubts were finally solved. At the beginning, I was also wondering that Jian Island had made chaos in the Star Sea many times, making it a mess, and Xingzong had also suppressed it. Why didn't they kill their strongholds and eradicate them like they did to the ancient god sect? Although there are too many strongholds of the ancient god sect, it is difficult to clean them up, and there are always remnants, so that this place of demonic forces still exists in the world. But in comparison, Jian Island is a small role. According to the strength of Xingzong, it is not a problem to eradicate it. Now, knowing that Jian Island has moved to the Sea of Riots, the answer to the question is obvious. It seems that Xingzong is also afraid of the chaos and danger in the Sea of Riots, and has never fought against Jian Island. The reason is probably here. Chen Qingyun thought so in his heart, but he didn't say it out loud, waiting for Long Taifeng to continue. This time, the operation to eliminate Jian Island must enter the Sea of Riots. Jian Island is such a big problem, it's better to eliminate it as soon as possible, and we can't keep raising a tiger to cause trouble. If we don't cut off their wings in time and eradicate them as soon as possible, when they grow stronger in the future, it will be difficult for us to deal with them if we want to take action. I wonder if Senior is willing to help? Long Taifeng extended the invitation again and said solemnly, "This time we are issuing a mission to start the action. After the mission is completed, there will be a generous reward to reward the seniors." While talking, Long Taifeng took out a mission jade slip and gave it to Chen Qingyun. I took a look at the jade slip and found that the mission content was recorded in it. In the reward column, the Golden Order Star Patroller participates. After the achievement is completed, he can obtain 100,000 good deeds. The number of people on the mission is expected to be between 4 and 8, with the majority being the Golden Order Star Patrollers. It is worth mentioning that a monk has already taken over this task and is waiting to form a team. There are 2 Jinan monks in total. One came from Zhuan Island and was the younger sister of this generation of Zhuan Island owner. Li Mubing was known as the Ice Spirit Fairy. The other one is Patriarch Han from Yishi Island. These 2 are both long famous Jinan monks. They are also from casual cultivating backgrounds. If they can cultivate to this level, they are naturally not soft persimmons. Ancestor Han. Seeing that Ancestor Han was involved, Chen Qingyun recalled for a moment the conflict that broke out between Yishi Island and Jian Island. Chapter 644 Participating in the mission, Zhuanbing Li Mubing. Back then, Chen Qingyun was active on Yishi Island and encountered the incident where the Xuanian Old Demon and other demon cultivators from Jian Island attacked Yishi Island. The demon chaos caused panic in the market. In order to protect themselves, many independent cultivators left Yishi Island in panic, causing irreparable losses to the economy of the market. Although this move was a slap in the face for Han Laozhu, it was disgusting to Han Laozhu. In the end, Han Laozhu decided not to condone and tolerate. While issuing an order to block Yishi Island, he immediately summoned people and started a battle with Xuanian Old Demon. Chen Qingyun was invited by Han Laozhu at that time, and cooperated with Han Laozhu, Qingguang and others to eliminate Xuanian Old Demon and others in one fell swoop. That battle established a cooperative friendship between Chen Qingyun and Han Laozhu, and also laid a solid foundation for the Chen family to settle in Yishi Island. At present, Jian Island still exists and is still causing chaos in the Starry Sea. When Han Laozhu heard the news, he naturally wanted to completely eliminate such a powerful enemy, so it was not surprising that he could participate in it. However, the Jian Island must have more than one or two giant cultivators to occupy a place in the Wanjiantu Sea. There must be a backer behind it, so it won't be so easy to deal with. Thinking of this, Chen Qingyun did not rush to agree, but said, "There is a giant stage demon cultivator who took action in the Red Fox market. I am afraid that there are still several giant stage demon cultivators lurking in the Jian Island headquarters. Will it appear to be weak if only 2 or 3 giant cultivators join forces? The Wanjiantu Sea is not like the Star Sea. There are unknown dangers hidden everywhere." It is still the senior who has considered it carefully. This is indeed a problem that needs attention. Long Taifeng nodded and responded solemnly. Elder Shi Hongzhen also mentioned this concern at the beginning, so he began to try his best to attract strong people to join the team and let him take the initiative to invite. Chen Qingyun has a deep understanding of how dangerous the Wanjiantu Sea is. He is still wanted by Kua Snake Cave. The last time he went there, he fought more than a dozen battles, and killed several giant stage demon cultivators. If only 2 or 3 giant cultivators were sent to launch the operation and set foot on the Sea of Turbulence, the strength of this camp would not be very strong. Adhering to the principle of sincere invitation, Long Taifeng continued to introduce, "This time, we will naturally invite as many seniors as possible to take action. The sect will also send cultivators to accompany us. As long as we don't encounter Yuanian cultivators, we still have the strength to fight, and we may not be inferior to Jian Island. We have investigated the situation on Jian Island. There are currently 3 giant demon cultivators. The strongest is the Black Wind Demon in the late Jian period, and the other 2 are the Black Flame Demon and the Gui Demon in the middle Jian period." Long Taifeng introduced the specific strength of Jian Island in detail. Compared with dealing with Kua Snake Cave, Jian Island is much easier to deal with. There are no Yuanian cultivators in charge, and even if they can't win in the end, they can evacuate. Xingzong is a big family with a great business, so naturally they can't do anything without confidence. They must have thought it through and would only take action when they are very sure. I originally had a grudge with Jian Island. We fought 3 times and killed some of their followers, including the old demon Zhu. Although the people of Jian Island have not attacked Zhenhai Island again after so many years, I can't guarantee that they won't in the future. I didn't have the ability to fight against such demonic forces before, but now I have some strength, and Xingzong is helping me. It is indeed a good opportunity to eliminate the trouble forever." Chen Qingyun thought for a moment, and after thinking clearly about the pros and cons, he made up his mind and spoke. "Okay, I can take this task." Long Taifeng was delighted when he heard this. "Okay, then I will rely on the help of the senior." Now, there are already 3 Gold Order Patrol Star Envoys involved. In order to increase the chances of winning, Long Taifeng reported this matter to the top leaders of Xingzong. Soon, a Xingzong elder passed on the news that he wanted to participate together. The Xingzong should also send a representative to participate in the operation and ensure the safety of this trip. This is a strong alliance between the Xingzong and the Tanxing Palace. After waiting in the Tanxing Palace for 3 days, to Chen Qingyun's surprise, the 4th Jinan cultivator was actually the 8th elder of the Xingzong, the Hongling Patriarch. When he saw Chen Qingyun was also in the team, the Hongling Patriarch took the initiative to come forward and greet him, calling Chen Qingyun as a peer. "Fellow Taoist Chen, I have always heard of your fame and deeds. Today I see that you are indeed a dragon among men. It's a pleasure to meet you." "It's a pleasure to meet you, Elder Zhang. You are too kind." Chen Qingyun smiled modestly. He had heard some rumors about this Xingzong elder and had some respect in his heart. The Hongling Patriarch's name is Zhang Hongling, and he is not from a cultivation family. Instead, he is a cultivation seedling recruited by the Xingzong cultivators in the secular villages. He is gifted with water and gold dual spiritual roots and is a well-known veteran elder of the Xingzong. In teaching Chen Qingfeng, the Red Spirit ancestor was very dedicated and willing to teach him everything he knew. As one of the few female elders in the Qing sect, she acted in a strong and decisive manner, and established a great reputation. After a few simple polite words, Chen Qingyun learned that there were a total of 5 Jinan cultivators and 20 Xifu cultivators in this operation. Half of these Xifu cultivators were all purple-ordered star patrollers. Most of them were willing to participate in the invitation issued by Long Taifeng, and 3 of them took over the task on their own in the Tanxing Hall. The other 10 purple mansion cultivators were star sect cultivators, who would obey the orders of the Red Spirit Patriarch and join forces to fight the enemy. Chen Qingyun focused his attention on a woman in blue, who was wearing an ice blue long skirt, tall and graceful, slender, and particularly conspicuous in the crowd. Li Mubing. Chen Qingyun guessed the other party's identity. Facing Chen Qingyun's gaze, Li Mubing felt something, and responded indifferently, with no joy or anger on her face. Li Mubing's aura was not concealed, making the air around her cold, and the purple mansion cultivators avoided her. When he became a patrolling star envoy, the jade slip issued by the Tanxing Palace simply recorded the basic information of all patrolling star envoys in the Tanxing Palace. Chen Qingyun had carefully paid attention to all the patrolling star envoys registered in the Tanxing Palace. Li Mubing is no exception. She is the sister of the previous generation of Xuanbing Island Master. She is 236 years old and is known for her coldness. She is like a 10,000-year-old iceberg. The Xuanbing Island where she is located is a spiritual island located in the northern part of the Outer Star Sea, similar to Tankan Island, but more powerful than it. The Xuanbing Island is mainly composed of women who practice ice-attributed exercises. It is a very distinctive force. It is worth mentioning that the monks of Xuanbing Island are the most protective and like to act in groups. They like to keep a low profile outside and do not take the initiative to cause trouble. It can be said that they are relatively secluded. Chapter 645, Enemies Meet on a Narrow Road. The strength of this generation of Zhuan Island owners has now reached the middle stage of the golden elixir, and they are in a state of seclusion all year round. This Li Mubing's qualifications are even better than those of this generation's Zhuan Bingbing master, and he has already reached the bottleneck of the late Jinan period. Fellow Taoist Chen, this is Li Mubing, Zhuan Bingbing. This is your first time meeting fellow Taoist Li. She has such a cold temperament, so don't be offended. Ancestor Hongling smiled faintly. He didn't have any elder heirs in front of Chen Qingyun. He also took the initiative to introduce and win over Chen Qingyun. He was very optimistic about Chen Qingyun's future potential. Seeing Ancestor Hongling, Li Mubing had no intention of coming forward to greet him, but just glanced at him lightly. Ha ha ha, why did you come so early and didn't wait for me? With a loud laugh, a big Han monk flew from a distance and landed directly next to the Hongling ancestor. I heard that there is a new Jinling star patroller who has recently arrived. His name is Chen Qingyun. I have to take a good look at where he is. Several Jinan monks looked around, and except for Chen Qingyun, They all recognized the origin of this big man. After the big man approached, he glanced at everyone, and then landed directly on Chen Qingyun. "It's you. You are Chen Qingyun from the Chen family of Linjian Island. You can become the Golden Order Star Patroller at such a young age. You are quite capable. It's not unreasonable that my dog will be defeated at your hands." His defeat was not unjust. The big man squinted his eyes, wishing he could see Chen Qingyun thoroughly. For a moment, everyone felt that something was wrong in the atmosphere. This was obviously aimed at Chen Qingyun. "Fellow, Taoist Wang always likes to appear at the finale. I haven't seen you for a few years, and I was just thinking about learning from you. Unexpectedly, your cultivation level has reached a higher level. Congratulations." Ancestor Hongling took the lead in greeting to ease the atmosphere, and intentionally or unintentionally stood in front of Chen Qingyun, blocking the big man. "It's just a small gain, not worth mentioning. Fellow Taoist Hongling, I heard that you were injured earlier, so I think it's fine. If you want to discuss things, let's wait until after this mission is over." The big man waved his hand, glanced at the Hongling ancestor, and then continued to lock his eyes on Chen Qingyun. Chen Qingyun did not retreat, but looked at him. When he recalled the other person's previous words, his expression suddenly condensed, and a figure could not help but appear in his mind. Qingguang Island, Wanjiantu. The big man in front of him was very similar to Wanjiantu, if not the ancestor of Leisha, who was Wang Chonglai. The late stage of Jiandan. When he felt the aura fluctuations on the body of ancestor Leisha, Chen Qingyun became even more concerned. This is really a narrow road between enemies. How did I meet this character? TSK. At the middle stage of Golden Core cultivation, Ambassador Chen Xingxing is much younger than I thought. Do you ever recognize me? Ancestor Leisha looked a little rough and arrogant, but his words at the moment were a bit sinister and pointed. All the monkey spirits present, especially Ancestor Hongling, Ancestor Han, and Li Mubing, all heard that Wang Xian was killed in the reclusive immortal mansion. The person who took action was Chen Qingyun. This is not a secret, it has been reported for a long time. At this time, Old Man Leisha's words were somewhat hostile. Chen Qingyun didn't shy away from it. He looked directly at Patriarch Leisha and said, "That's right. He is full of energy and has a bit of the courage I had when I was young." Good. Ancestor Leisha laughed and responded, restraining his hostility to an appropriate extent. He would not be stupid enough to confront Chen Qingyun here and embarrass a junior. Ancestor Hongling observed the situation and tried to smooth things over for Chen Qingyun. "Fellow Taoist Wang, please don't talk too much. Those grudges and disputes must be separated into separate occasions. I admire this guy very much, and I will make more friends with him in the future. This is a talent that our Qing sect actively recruits, and deserves to be taken seriously." These words made Patriarch Leisha frown. He couldn't tell that Patriarch Hongling was openly protecting Chen Qingyun. He even didn't hesitate to use the Star Sect as a warning, but he almost didn't say it directly. Chen Qingyun was a guest of the Star Sect, and you, an elder of Qingguang Island, were not someone you could kill at will. Chen Dao was kind to me in the early years. Speaking of which, I still owe him a favor. I will inevitably take care of him more in the future. Ancestor Han also stood up at this time and expressed his position with a smile. For this mission, it's better for us to work together and be united in dealing with the outside world, instead of fighting within ourselves. For a moment, the two giant ancestors stood on Chen Qingyun's side and spoke. This scene made Li Mubing couldn't help but take another look at Chen Qingyun, wondering in his heart what charm Chen Qingyun had that he could be protected by two veteran giant experts at the same time. Haha, I'm just saying. As an elder, how can I embarrass a junior at this time? I will also lose the reputation of Qingguang Island. Ancestor Leisha forced out a smile and said, "I didn't want to cause trouble to Chen Qingyun at first, but now that I see it, I just want to say a few words and vent appropriately." Knowing that it was not easy to offend Chen Qingyun, he said no more and just waited for the follow-up actions. The manpower was already present, and Long Taifeng began to tell all the details of the mission. At the same time, combat resources were distributed to the participating monks in accordance with the instructions of the senior officials of the Star Sect. Chen Qingyun, the 5 golden elixir monks, each received a drop of purple source spiritual liquid. It only takes 1 drop of this substance to instantly restore the mana of a golden elixir monk to its original state. Even if only 10% of the mana is left, the same effect can be achieved. Xing Zong took action, and it was really generous. After collecting the purple source spiritual liquid, Chen Qingyun paid attention to the Purple Mansion cultivators. They played an auxiliary role, responsible for clearing the remnants of the demon cultivators below the golden core stage. Each of them was given a bottle of pill to restore mana, and each of them was given a 3rd level top-grade spiritual talisman, the Thunder Talisman of the Evil God. Everyone, this operation will be troublesome for you. As long as the demon cultivators of Jian Island are not eliminated, they will continue to cause chaos in our Xinghai. We can't tolerate it again and again. It's time to put an end to this matter completely and give an explanation to the fellows who were killed in Honghiafang City. Ancestor Hongling said. In the eyes of other Purple Mansion cultivators, the strength of this team is of course the strongest of Ancestor Hongling, who has reached the late golden core stage. In addition to the blessing of many magic weapons and top-level skills, it is enough to kill the peak golden core cultivator head-on. He belongs to the first echelon of golden core cultivators. Ancestor Han is 2nd in strength. He has reached the late golden core stage for more than 60 years. He has the spiritual fire of the 8 desolate sky fire in his hand, and the killing magic weapon Sea Covering Bell, which is enough to go back and forth in the same realm and rarely has an opponent. The third one is Leisha, who has just broken through the late giant stage and has practiced thunder magic, making him the nemesis of demon cultivators. The fourth one is Chen Qingyun, who is in the middle giant stage, and this is what everyone sees. In fact, Chen Qingyun has many trump cards and magic weapons, and his strength not only exceeds Li Mubing, but also exceeds that of Hongling and others. Chen Qingyun is the one who hides the deepest and has the strongest strength. The rest of the Purple Mansion cultivators are all remarkable, at least in the late Purple Mansion stage. Chapter 646, Black Tortoise Sky Shield. A total of 25 people participated in this demon-killing mission. After the team was formed and the combat supplies were received, the specific matters were explained clearly. The group began to set off, riding a large flying boat out of the Xingzong and flying to the Wanjiantu. The flying boat they took was called the Shin-Piercing Cloud Boat, a large spiritual boat of the 4th level medium grade, which could cross the sea and fly into the sky, and could carry more than 100,000 cargoes. The energy supply of this flying boat only requires 1 top-grade spiritual stone to sail at a constant speed and fly uninterruptedly for 3 years. If it is deployed at full speed, it can travel 80,000 miles a day. As of now, the Xingzong has only built 6 of this kind of shin-piercing cloud boat. Because a large amount of Qingguang stone is used, it is extremely labor-intensive to refine. The cost of 1 boat is as high as 1 million spiritual stones, which is a strategic resource of the Xingzong. The other 5 ships are on missions all year round and rarely return. They will only dock at the southern port of Tanxing Island at a specific maintenance time, and it is difficult to see their true appearance on weekdays. The fact that they could send the ship to assist Chen Qingyun and others in the battle this time also demonstrated the support of the Xingzong this time. The shin-piercing cloud boat flew through the air, with its own windproof and soundproof barriers, isolating the whistling wind and the loud sound of breaking through the air. Looking down, the sea area under his feet, the scene of the Spirit Island flowed rapidly, and soon flew out of the territory of Tanxing Island. Among those present, the Red Spirit Ancestor went to the 10,000 Monster Sea the most frequently, and he had been back and forth for no less than 100 times. When they flew out of the Inner Star Sea, on the way, the 5 giant cultivators gathered to deduce the battle that would break out at that time and how to deal with various situations. By the way, they could also know each other, understand each other's strength and some background, so as to formulate a better battle plan. Chen Qingyun did not hide this, not only showing the strength of the middle stage of the Jiandan, but also showing the hanging soul-slashing sword and the transformation shield. As for Baoang and Jiuyu, they are the last trump cards and will not be easily revealed. The Immortal Palace is also hidden first. Hey, this is... When he saw the Hunyuan shield, the eyes of the Red Spirit Patriarch lit up and he couldn't help but exclaimed in surprise. Fellow Taoist Chen, is the treasure in your hand the Xuanwu covering heaven shield? The Xuanwu covering heaven shield? What's the connection? Chen Qingyun was subconsciously puzzled. Before Chen Qingyun could answer, the Red Spirit Patriarch quickly shook his head again. It doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like the Xuanwu covering heaven shield of Senior Xingzun. It looks like a replica. This scene was also seen by the Han Patriarch and Li Mubing, who thought of the spiritual treasure Xuanwu covering heaven shield in Xingzun's hand, and couldn't help but take a few more glances. Fellow Taoist Zhang, you are too serious. This thing is not a spiritual treasure, but a top-grade life magic weapon called Hunyuan shield. Chen Qingyun briefly introduced it, and after several people took a closer look, he put away the Hunyuan shield. Chen Qingyun had heard of the Xuanwu covering heaven shield mentioned by the Red Spirit Patriarch. That is a spiritual treasure, which is higher than the natal magic treasure in terms of grade. Magical instruments, magic treasures, natal magic treasures, spiritual treasures, these grades from low to high, with clear levels, can all be collectively referred to as magic instruments. Usually divided in a simple and easy to understand way such as first level, second level, third level, fourth level, etc. The spiritual treasures among them are the exclusive magic instruments belonging to Yuan cultivators, and can also be called fifth-level magic instruments. The Black Tortoise Heaven Covering Shield was refined by Xingzun, and is a famous spiritual treasure. It follows Xingzun to exorcise beasts and open the sea to fight against all evils, and has the reputation of being the first defensive treasure in the Star Sea. Such a top-level spiritual treasure, for now, will naturally not appear in Chen Qingyun's hands. I didn't expect that Chen Dao still has such a treasure in his hands, the top grade, which is enough to be a great help to us. The Red Spirit Patriarch smiled when he heard this and praised the power of the Heaven Transformation Shield. If this kind of defensive magic weapon can protect his group at a critical moment, the effect will be very practical. Chen Qingyun did not say much about this. The Transformation Shield does have the effect of launching group defense. If necessary, it will not be stingy, and it will also protect the Red Spirit Ancestor and others. At this moment, hearing the Red Spirit Ancestor mention the Black Tortoise covering the sky shield, Chen Qingyun couldn't help but wonder. Is this transformation shield really a replica? However, if you think about it carefully, from the time calculation, the transformation shield has appeared more than 1,000 years ago. This is earlier than the Black Tortoise covering the sky shield. Lin Qingyun has been sitting in that cave for more than 1,000 years. At that time, the Star Sect had just been established not long ago, and the Star Venerable had not yet achieved the realm of the heavenly Dao Yuan. If compared in this way, it should be the other way around, that the Black Tortoise covering the sky shield imitated the transformation shield. In this regard, Chen Qingyun did not mean to explain more, realizing that the transformation shield was not as simple as imagined. If you really want to trace its origin, I'm afraid it has a great origin. Unfortunately, Lin Qingyun did not introduce the origin of the transformation shield, but only told that it was made by a master of refining. Without thinking too much, several people showed their special skills one by one. Ancestor Hong Ling showed his own life magic weapon, which was a golden flag named the Demon Slaying Flag. This thing is a well-known magic treasure in Xingzong, which has killed many evil demons and reached the top level. Li Mubing's life magic weapon is a cold ice ruler, which is like a flying sword suspended in the air, full of spirituality, emitting a cold light, reaching the top level. Chen Qingyun had seen the methods of Ancestor Han from afar when he was in Yishi Island. It was a big bell magic weapon named the Sea Covering Bell, which had killed the Xuanian old demon in the Jiandan period. In addition, Ancestor Han also mastered a kind of spiritual fire, the 8 wilderness sky fire. Ancestor Han did not hide these two things, Many people knew about them, so he showed them openly and openly. When it was Patriarch Lei Zhao's turn, Chen Qingyun paid attention and found that this person's natal magic weapon was not surprising. It was a high-grade thunder hammer. However, because this person's main spiritual route is of thunder attribute, the exercises he practices are also thunder attribute exercises. Therefore, it has the most advantage in terms of fighting against demonic cultivators. Fellow Taoist Wang, we still have to rely on your Zhuxiantu and Divine Thunder for this battle. In dealing with demonic cultivators, you and Taoist fellow Hongling are the best and have the best results. Ancestor Han said with a serious expression. Using thunder magic to fight against demonic cultivators is already in an advantageous position and can have a very good restraint effect. Zhuxiantu and Divine Thunder is very powerful, and it is the existence among many thunders that can defeat evil spirits. It is second only to the two top Divine Thunders, Tei Jing Lei and World Destruction Divine Thunder. Fellow Taoist Wang, our sect invites you to come out this time. We also need to use your thunder magic power to increase our prestige and make those demonic cultivators suffer. During the joke, Patriarch Hongling revealed the reason for inviting Patriarch Lei Zhao to come forward this time, which instantly answered Chen Qingyun's doubts. As a monk from Kirigakure Island, how could he cooperate with Star Sect to fight? It turns out that the answer lies here. Ancestor Hongling, 8th elder of Qing sect, Bei Yining, Chen Qingyun's master, late-stage giant and cultivator. Chapter 647, Sea of Riot. Fellow Taoist Hongling has come to Giant Island again this time, but he has made all the preparations. Perhaps he can win without my help. Old man Lei Zhao narrowed his eyes. Fellow Taoist Hongling will not fall into this trap twice, so why does he need to rely on me to help him? Come to Giant Island again? Chen Qingyun's expression changed when he heard this. I heard Chen Qingyun mention it before, that the ancestor Hongling went to the 10,000 Monsters Sea and returned with a lot of injuries. At that time, even Chen Qingyun didn't know the specific situation, and who injured his master. Could it be that the demon cultivator from Giant Island injured him? Which one of the three giant and demon cultivators? Having said that, the Red Spirit Patriarch did not hide anything and said with a wry smile, I am ashamed to say that I was almost besieged by the three demons of the Black Wind Demon last time and almost died on the Black Sand Island. This time, it's time to let them suffer a little. We must settle the account and kill these demons. It seems that you are really well prepared. If you suffer again this time, it will be a loss. At this point, the Lei Zhao Patriarch said with a smile, and emphasized the reward for this trip. Okay, I won't waste any more time. Please fulfill the reward your sect promised me after the task is completed. Everyone in the Star Sea knows that your Qing sect always keeps its word. Don't lie to me. Don't worry, fellow Taoist Wang. Our Qing sect keeps its word. The conversation between the two made Chen Qingyun and the others confused. They guessed that Qing sect must have offered a considerable reward in order to invite the old ancestor Lei Zhao. What this reward is, outsiders don't know. Old ancestor Han, old ancestor Hongling, plus me, the three of us have stood on the opposite side of Giant Island early on. No wonder we can hit it off and carry out this mission together. Understanding the reason, as soon as this mission was released, it could immediately attract three giant and cultivators to participate, and they were willing to go deep into the sea of 10,000 monsters to fight. There is a reason for this. As for Li Mubing, does he also have a grudge against Giant Island? Don't ask too much now, just keep paying attention later. The speed of the flying boat is very fast, not a constant speed flight. 3 months later, everyone entered the Wanyao Sea and flew towards the direction of the Sea of Riot. Stepping out of the sea again, Chen Qingyun couldn't help but recall the experience of being wanted and hunted by the Kua Snake Cave a few years ago. It was here that Chen Qingyun encountered this experience, which made him fight bloody battles and grow quickly. In less than a year, his strength has advanced by leaps and bounds, reaching the middle stage of the Golden Core. Now that more than 7 years have passed, is the hunting order of the Kua Snake Cave still continuing? For now, This sea area is far away from the Kua Snake Cave Sea area. The Sea of Riot is in the east of the Star Sea, close to the northeast. Flying straight over, the shortest distance is through a large spiritual island, Xuanyang Island. This Xuanyang Island, more than half of the area of the island is barren desert, a barren land. Only in the east of the island, near the Sea of Riot, are there mountains and plains, suitable for human habitation and labor. Xuanyang Island is an island jointly ruled by demon cultivators and immortal cultivators. Demon cultivators are prohibited from landing on the island, which is quite unique. Crossing over from this island can save a lot of time and will not encounter attacks from demon cultivators. The sea is unknown. Along the way, the group occasionally experienced attacks from several birds. The strongest was only in the Purple Mansion period, and it was easily resolved without causing any storms. According to time statistics, the flight lasted for more than a month. Soon, everyone saw a huge island across the sea. It can be seen with the naked eye that the island is covered with a large area of vast desert, a golden color. Only at the eastern edge of the island can you glimpse some greenery. There is the main area where the human race is stationed, with a large number of cities and rivers. In the following few days, everything went smoothly. After crossing the entire Xuanyang Island and about to enter the territory of the Sea of Riot, the Red Spirit Ancestor, as the leader, took the initiative to introduce the power structure here and the matters that need to be paid attention to. The Sea of Riot is about half the size of the Inner Star Sea, gathering many fugitives who have fled from the Sea of 10,000 Monsters, the Sea of Stars, the Sea of Mermaids, etc., mostly wanted people and magic cultivators. It can be said that no one who can live in the Sea of Riot is a kind person, and fugitives can be seen everywhere. This is the habitat of the evil. There is no order, so it is called the name of Riot. Even the magic cultivators from Giant Island have to be humble when they come here, and there is a risk of being wiped out at any time. It is worth mentioning that there are currently 3 major forces in the Sea of Riot, which are entrenched here all year round. One is the Demon Cultivation Valley, which is mostly composed of members of the Demon Cultivators, full of blood and violence, never reasonable, and want to bite anyone they don't like. One is the Red Blood Mansion, which was established by a red blood toad at the peak of the Golden Elixir, and collects fugitives from demon cultivators from all over the world for its own use. This red blood toad is quite magical. The innate magical power it displays, the red blood divine pupil, can freeze the creatures in the golden core stage, which is a very powerful magical power. Another one is the Tanlao sect, which belongs to the human camp and is composed of local immortal cultivators. It is considered a pure land established by the human race here, and demon cultivators are prohibited from getting involved. Xiuma Valley and the Red Blood Mansion are both foreign forces. They have a share of the pie here and often join forces to suppress the Tanlao sect. More often, they compete with each other and maintain a balance between each other. This is a miniature version of the 10,000 Monsters Sea, with a clear power structure and easy to identify. After Giant Island moved to the 10,000 Monsters Sea, it finally landed in this violent sea. They slaughtered the demon cultivators on a small spiritual island, Black Sand Island, and occupied the land as king. There are still more than 300 remnants of Giant Island and the sect on Black Sand Island. 5 years ago, I fought with the Black-Winged Old Demon and severely injured him. It will take at least 10 years for him to recover and his strength will be reduced by at least 20%. So now is the best time to act. This time we are going to aim at Black Sand Island, and we must kill them by surprise, so as not to alert the enemy. The Red Spirit Ancestor described the specific plan and detailed the situation of the demon cultivators on Giant Island. On Black Sand Island, Xingzong has undercover agents lurking. This person is a Purple Order Patrol Star Envoy. As for who he is and how long he has been lurking, the Red Spirit Patriarch did not reveal it in order to protect this fellow Taoist. There are more than 300 demon cultivators, 3 of whom are in the Golden Core stage, 2 in the middle stage, and 1 is in the late stage with an injury. This force seems far inferior to ours, but we should not underestimate the enemy. The Red Spirit Patriarch continued, then I, fellow Taoist Wang, and fellow Taoist Han will lead the charge and deal with the 3 Black Wind Demons. Fellow Taoist Chen and fellow Taoist Li, how about you two just wait and see? Han, Patriarch of Yishi Island, late Golden Core stage, legendary figure in Xinghai Sanxiu world, a kind old man in green clothes when he first appeared. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 648 Demon Cultivator ambushed and killed, identity exposed. Li Mubing nodded slightly in agreement with the suggestion of the Red Spirit Ancestor. Okay. Chen Qingyun also responded. In terms of battle strategy, no one knows the situation on Black Sand Island better than the Red Spirit Ancestor, so let's act according to her plan. As for those Purple Mansion cultivators, they are responsible for cleaning up the numerous remnants of the demon cultivators, and each has a clear division of labor. Black Sand Island is located in the west of the Sea of Riots. It is necessary to enter the Sea of Riots and then cross a distance of about 60,000 miles. This distance seems short, but due to the geographical environment, it is destined not to fly too peacefully. There are many islands in the sea, large and small, and any one of them is occupied by creatures. There is no no-fly zone here. The Red Spirit Ancestor controls the divine wind-piercing cloud boat to fly as low-key as possible to avoid complications. However, what you fear will come true. After crossing more than 20,000 miles, dozens of figures suddenly took off from a small island in the sea. These figures appeared in an extremely strange way, pulling a nearly illusory net with a huge coverage area, wrapping the flying boat from bottom to top. Flying well, suddenly attacked. Hongling Patriarch took the lead and sacrificed a golden flying blade, scraping it downwards. This is one of Hongling Patriarch's life magic weapons, called Golden Light Blade. Once the Golden Light Blade was used, it scraped out a blade light as long as a kilometer, and instantly separated a huge gap in the large net trapped below, cutting it in half. It's a demon cultivator. Patriarch Han glanced and saw dozens of flying bird figures hanging in the air around the large net. He took the initiative to sacrifice his magic weapon to join the battle. Patriarch Lei's attack was also very fast. He used the thunder technique, and in the rumbling lightning and thunder, he followed Patriarch Han and hit the opponent. 3 giant cultivators took action, and one easily disintegrated the large net attack. The other two, one on the left and one on the right, wiped out 6 demon cultivators in the blink of an eye. Among these demon cultivators, only one was in the early giant stage. Oh no, how could there be so many giant stage cultivators? Seeing that his side was at a disadvantage and underestimated the enemy, the giant stage demon cultivator made a quick decision and abandoned his other companions to escape. Swish. Chen Qingyun controlled the Aurora Blade and easily killed 3 demon cultivators in a row. Then the Aurora Blade turned around and emitted a cold metallic cold light. As Chen Qingyun broke through the air, he caught up with the fleeing giant stage demon cultivator. This demon cultivator was a black-winged lion and the leader of the ambush team. Facing Chen Qingyun's pursuit, he knew that he was no match for him, and immediately showed a bit of begging for mercy. Sir, since you're also wanted by the Kuish Cave, why not let me go and leave me to help you fight against the Kuish Cave? This voice was not concealed, and it was directly increased in volume with demon power and spread. For a moment, not only Chen Qingyun, but also Li Mubing, Hunyuan Plate, Lei Zhao and other people around him could hear it clearly. This big monster actually recognized me. Chen Qingyun raised his eyebrows. How could someone recognize his face in this turbulent sea, far away from the ruling sea area of Kui's Snake Cave? This is not a good thing to say here. He looked at Han and others around him, and saw that Lei Zhao's attention was attracted and his eyes flashed. He looked at the demon cultivator, and a smile flashed across his mouth, revealing a state of contemplation. Wondering what he was thinking. The most obvious reaction was still Li Mubing and Hong Ling. The two of them showed a trace of surprise with their naked eyes, and couldn't help muttering in their hearts, "This Chen Qingyun is really not afraid of trouble, and actually provoked Ku Snake Cave. Why didn't I hear any news before?" Now, he was recognized here. Chen Qingyun only glanced at the expressions of his companions and decided to kill them quickly, so as not to expose his whereabouts here and attract the pursuit of Kuish Cave. The Aurora Blade accelerated its speed, bursting out with the most peak power, and chased after the opponent regardless of his pleas for mercy. Chen Qingyun found the right opportunity, and in just 3 rounds, he broke the opponent's body defense with one blow, and the flying blade quickly passed through the opponent's neck. Around, Li Mubing and even the other Purple Mansion cultivators had not yet made a move, and the battle ended quickly. A total of 156 Purple Mansion demon cultivators were all killed in less than half an incense stick of time, and only one was captured. These demon cultivators originally wanted to intercept Chen Qingyun and others, but they capsized in the ditch and were killed in one fell swoop. Ancestor Leisha was still a little unsatisfied, so he took back his skills and looked at the bottom of the flying boat with a burning gaze. He saw several figures fleeing in panic and turning into black light. Those were also part of the killing team, but because they were dormant in the sea and far away, no one wanted to chase them. Ancestor Honglin recalled the golden blade, stored it in his danshan, and frowned slightly. From the methods of those demon cultivators just now, they don't seem to be from the Red Blood Mansion. I think they are just some clowns who like to rob and loot. Ancestor Han had just arrived and asked curiously, "Robbery is common here, so does the Red Blood Mansion also do this?" "Yes." Ancestor Hongling nodded. "It's very chaotic here. Not only are there countless killings, but riots and battles can also be seen everywhere. The attacks we are facing now are not surprising." "What, a riotous sea? It's really lawless." Grandmaster Leisha commented, and his eyes fell on Chen Qingyun again, asking with a smile, "Fellow, Taoist Chen seems to be at odds with the Ku Snake Cave. What is going on?" This sudden change of topic immediately attracted the attention of Grandmaster Han and several others. He was also a little curious about the answer to this question. The giant and cultivators present who knew about this matter wanted to investigate, and there must be ways to find out the result. Chen Qingyun did not hide much and glanced at Grandmaster Leisha lightly. "It's just some conflicts. Did fellow Taoist Wang also offend the Ku Snake Cave?" Chen Qingyun saw the clue at a glance from the strange look in front of Grandmaster Leisha. If this guy wants to avenge his son, even if he doesn't do it himself, he can kill with a borrowed knife and use the Ku Snake Cave to act. How come he came out to carry out a mission and was recognized? It has been more than 7 years, and he came to a chaotic place like the Sea of Raging Fire. It turns out that this is really the habitat of habitual criminals and desperate criminals from all over the sea. It is estimated that there are many creatures living here who have grudges against Kuish Cave. Haha, why does fellow Taoist Chen still care about me? This Kuish Cave is indeed not easy to provoke. Fellow Taoist Chen should be careful in the future, so as not to be bitten by them, which will be troublesome. Ancestor Leisha said with a fake smile that he had decided to secretly investigate the matter to see if Kuish Cave still wanted to arrest Chen Qingyun. Chapter 649, Dark Wind and Black Sand Wall. Well, if you are active in the Sea of 10,000 Monsters, you will always offend the forces of demon cultivators or magic cultivators. This is unavoidable. Ancestor Honglin stepped forward and noticed the unharmonious atmosphere between Chen Qingyun and Ancestor Leisha, and smoothed things over in time. "Let's go back and talk about it. The most urgent thing is to get rid of the remnants of Giant Island as soon as possible." Everyone packed up and continued their journey. In the subsequent journey, they did not encounter any assassins and successfully arrived at a sea area. A small black island appeared in the distance. There was Black Sand Island, the base camp of the magic cultivators of Giant Island. Because they were going to launch a surprise attack, they caught these magic cultivators off guard. On the way, Ancestor Hongling and the undercover of Xingzong lurking on Black Sand Island worked together to reach a plan. Ancestor Hongling also informed Chen Qingyun and others of the specific matters of action. There was no need to hesitate, just enter Black Sand Island with peak strength. So everyone did not stop, but led by the Red Spirit Patriarch, launched an offensive directly. Swish, swish, swish. The Red Spirit Patriarch took the lead, followed by 20 Purple Mansion monks who joined forces to set up a formation. This formation is called the Qingguang Starfighting Formation, a 4th-level formation that can fight against at most one giant and monk. On the Black Sand Island, a set of defensive measures was set up, called the Dark Wind Black Sand Wall, which has a similar effect to the formation. This is a top-notch formation weapon. If it is disassembled and used, it can be used as 2 low-grade life magic weapons. This Dark Wind Black Sand Wall was mentioned by the Red Spirit Patriarch. This thing can set up a barrier for defense while releasing black sand all over the sky, and each grain of sand is extremely sharp and hard. Hundreds of millions of black sands gather together and can change and condense into various shapes, making it impossible to defend against. According to the plan, it is necessary to use Li Mubing's ice technique to restrain and disintegrate this Dark Wind Black Sand Wall. Li Mubing formed seals with his hands and summoned a 100-meter-long cold condensed ice phoenix, which spread its wings and flew to the Black Sand Island. The giant island cultivators on the island reacted quickly and took action immediately under the order of the Black Wind Demon. The Yufeng Black Sand Wall has been activated. Under the control of 10 Purple Mansion Stage Demon cultivators, it has condensed into a solid defensive barrier, isolating one side of the world and blocking Chen Qingyun and others from the outside. At the same time, on the barrier, the sky full of black sand was whirring, sweeping across the world like a huge sandstorm. Each grain of sand is extremely sharp and can easily penetrate the body of a Purple Mansion cultivator. If these black sands continue to flow and continue to impact, they can also break the protective shield of the giant and cultivator. A large amount of black sand turned into a series of skulls, a total of 6, and rushed towards Chen Qingyun and others. Li Mubing was indeed practicing the ice attribute. Once the cold condensed ice phoenix appeared, it exerted the ultimate ice attribute power. Suddenly, the temperature within a radius of 100 miles dropped sharply, and frost condensed and fell on the air, turning it into a world of wind and snow. Wherever the frost phoenix went, many black sands were instantly frozen and fell like ownerless objects, and the magic contained in them was disintegrated. Go! Li Mubing formed seals with both hands, and the frost phoenix flapped its wings again, and met the 6 black sand skeletons one after another. In a short while, all these skeletons were frozen and then exploded. This is not over yet. Li Mubing used another method, and a circular Taoist pattern condensed behind her, and as she spoke words like ice fall. In an instant, thousands of ice spikes fell from this array pattern like rain, and all hit the Yufeng Black Sand Wall, with amazing power. This Yufeng Black Sand Wall could not bear it, and the power contained in it had been quickly suppressed, and it could not exert 30% of its power. Li Mubing increased his offensive and controlled the frost-condensed ice phoenix to dive. With a loud bang, the 2 attacks combined, and the entire Yufeng Black Sand Wall was finally cracked and shattered. A large piece of black sand fell to the ground and landed on those demon cultivators. For a while, they suffered the consequences of their own actions, and were pierced by the black sand, screaming continuously. After the Yufeng Black Sand Wall was cracked, the demon cultivators on the island were in chaos and began to protect themselves and prepare to flee. At this time, the Black Wind Demon launched the White Bone Heart-Eating Curse, forcing these demon cultivators to grit their teeth secretly, give up the idea of escaping, and become puppets. They had no choice but to bite the bullet and kill a group of Purple Mansion cultivators, avoiding Chen Qingyun and other giant and cultivators. Li Mubing, Han Lei Ozut, Hongling Lei Ozut, Lei Zhao Lei Ozut, and Chen Qingyun each displayed their magical powers and sacrificed their life magic weapons. Chen Qingyun's suspended soul-slashing sword. Li Mubing's ice ruler. The demon's laying flag of the Red Spirit Patriarch. The sea-blocking bell of the Han Patriarch. The thunder hammer of the Liao Patriarch. The 5 life-saving magic weapons showed their power one after another and fell on the Black Sand Island. The casual blow of the giant and cultivator was enough to break the mountain of 100 feet. This time, with a few rumbling sounds, the Black Sand Island was sunk and shaken, and a large spider web spread out on the island. 3 black shadows rose from the island and attacked from 3 directions, locking onto the Red Spirit Patriarch, the Liao Patriarch and Chen Qingyun respectively. Black Wind Thief, I will cut off your head today. Seeing the Black Wind Demon coming to the door on his own initiative, the Red Spirit Patriarch's eyes were filled with murderous intent, and he waved the demon's laying flag forward, displaying the aura of righteousness and sweeping the Black Wind Demon. More than 5 years ago, he was injured by the Red Spirit Patriarch, and he has not recovered yet. The Black Wind Demon still thinks he has some means and does not choose to escape. But now he felt that the aura of righteousness exerted by Dang Mochi actually had a suppressing effect on his own skills, so he immediately used 9 bloody magic knives to start a duel. This is the blood-transforming Immortal Sword, which was once the master magic weapon of the old demon Zhuxiantu. Is the elder brother of the old demon Xuanian. The old demon Haifeng has more methods, and the blood-transforming Immortal Sword has also been refined to be stronger, reaching the level of a top-grade natal magic treasure. It's a pity that Hongling Ancestor was underestimated this time. In order to completely eliminate the demon cultivators on Giant Island, the head of the Star Sect came forward and lent the sect's top demon refining treasure, the Dang Demon Flag, to Ancestor Hongling. With this treasure in hand, at the same level, it is enough to suppress the Black Wind Old Demon. No matter how powerful the blood-transforming Immortal Sword is, it is still a product of the devil. Once the 9 flying knives come into contact, they are swept away by the demon flag, and the magic light on them is greatly reduced. The Black Wind Demon is cunning. He noticed something was wrong when they first fought, and immediately realized that it would be difficult to gain the upper hand in this battle, and that the best option was to take action. Rumble. At this moment, a thunderous explosion was heard. The Black Wind Ancestor subconsciously followed the sound and saw that the demonic flames of his accomplice, the Black Flame Old Demon, were scattered by thunder and turned into nothing. Ancestor Liao, who was fighting with him, attacked fiercely, and moved the thunder hammer in his hand again, striking out a white and silver thunderbolt the size of an arm. With a bang, it hit the body of the Black Flame Old Demon. Originally, this old Black Flame Demon had the fire of black flames around him, which could neutralize the attacks of many magical weapons and form a self-defense body. But after receiving this thunderbolt, the Black Flame Old Demon's whole body exploded and he was beaten half to death. Oops, why is it so difficult? It seems that I am no match for them. Witnessing his accomplices being severely wounded, the Black Wind Ancestor immediately stopped fighting. He rolled up his 9 blood-turning swords and used the Blood Shadow Escape Light to escape into the distance. Chapter 650 Blood Evil Pearl. The Madness of the Weird Old Demon. This old devil wants to run away, but it's not that easy. Ancestor Han had already predicted that he would lock Old Demon Black Wind early. As soon as he finished speaking, the sea-covering bell stretched to a size of 10 feet, and it was hooded over the head of the Black Wind Old Demon. In the previous years, he had fought with Ancestor Han in the Outer Star Sea, and the Black Wind Old Demon knew that he could not face the Zhai Bell head-on. This treasure contains the 8 Wastelands Sky Fire, which can refine demons and is very difficult to deal with. His junior brother, Old Demon Xuanian, died under this magic refining bell and was smelted into fly ashes by the 8 wilderness heavenly fires. Realizing that something was wrong, the Black Wind Old Demon quickly made a decisive decision and used the Blood Shadow Clone technique instead. With a crash, he turned into 20 blood red clones, which suddenly scattered around. The shapes of these black shadows look exactly the same. It is difficult to tell whether they are real or not. Only one of them is real. The rest are just decoys. which can confuse the enemy and greatly increase the chance of escape. Like many demon cultivators, the old demon Black Wind is more cunning. He will choose to flee thousands of miles away and never fight again if he loses an attack. He doesn't even care that his accomplices are still here. He just wants to be alone and focus on his own interests. However, Patriarch Han can be called a legend in the Xinghai casual cultivator world. He has created many legendary stories in his life, and his methods and wisdom cannot be underestimated. Now that he had already taken action, how could he not have thought that the Black Wind Old Demon would do something like this again? He already knew the magic skills practiced by the other party very well. I saw the purple light surging in the originally clear eyes of old ancestor Han. He used his spiritual power purple eyes to sweep away, and he immediately saw the true body of the Black Wind Old Demon from among the 20 clones. The Zhai Bell's speed increased dramatically, and it firmly locked onto the Black Wind Old Demon's body, enveloping the demon in one fell swoop. The Black Wind Old Demon's best escape method was ineffective in front of Ancestor Han. After being trapped in the Zhai Bell, a large number of 8 wilderness heavenly fires swept over him. These 8 wasteland sky fires are blazing and terrifying, and they also contain the natal elixir fire of the golden elixir monks, which is enough to refine the golden elixir demons. The flames filled every corner of the Zhai Bell, rapidly refining the Black Wind Old Demon, making him unable to escape, and he became the first demon to be killed. Just as the Hongling ancestor suggested, this battle must be fought quickly. So from the very beginning, Patriarch Han had thought up a battle strategy, and then he took the lead. The Black Wind Old Demon was killed, and his soul and golden elixir, including the storage bag, were turned into powder. As the Zhai Bell flew up, it vibrated and dispersed in the world. On the other side, the Black Flame Old Demon was not much better. He was restrained by Ancestor Leia with Xuanyu and Divine Thunder. He saw the Black Wind Old Demon being beheaded, and he had no chance of winning this battle, so he also chose to run away. However, just as his escaped soul was about to escape, the next moment it was directly hit by thunder and was defeated and killed. 2 of the 3 golden elixir demon cultivators were killed in less than 20 rounds, and the battle situation showed an overwhelming advantage. Look at Chen Qingyun again. Chen Qingyun's opponent is Wei Lao, who is the second most powerful among the 3 demons and has reached the middle stage of golden elixir. The magic treasure displayed by the strange old devil was a blood red bead, not the blood soul bead that he wanted to refine before. This object was tempered by the golden elixir of the golden elixir Chunyang monk, plus the blood of 7 or 49 Zaifu monks. Finally, it took 10 years to refine the blood evil magic treasure, called the blood evil bead. Compared with the blood soul bead, the power of the blood evil bead is 20 to 30% weaker. The old devil is still refining the blood soul bead this time, and the progress is slow. It will take about 15 years, so he can only temporarily use the blood soul bead to deal with Chen Qingyun. The effect of the blood evil bead is that it can spit out the blood evil light and corrode the monk's soul. Even if the magic weapon is hit by such magic light, the formation patterns on it will be melted and disintegrated, turning it into scrap. Chen Qingyun confronted him head-on with the hanging spirit-slaying sword, bursting out with bright and sharp sword energy and shield light, and withstood the attack of the bloody evil light twice. At the same time, the Tangsu sword was used to assist, and he found the opportunity to cut off the connection between this magic weapon and the strange old demon with one sword. The fluctuating sleeve showed its power, rolled up in the air, and under the surprised eyes of the strange old devil, he put the blood evil pearl into his sleeve in one fell swoop. The old devil has a violent personality and is the most murderous among the 3 demons. As many as 10,000 monks and millions of mortals died tragically in his hands. What kind of tactics are you kidding? After the magic treasure was taken away, the old devil was heartbroken and stared at Chen Qingyun fiercely, but he didn't even think about running away. Return my treasure. After all, they were of the same lineage. The old devil also used the blood shadow clone technique, but instead of escaping, he transformed into 20 figures and attacked Chen Qingyun. Condensation. A sweet drink sounded. An icy blue ice wall appeared out of thin air and protected Chen Qingyun in time, blocking this round of killing by the old devil. The 20 figures were firmly resisted. After encountering the impact of the ice power, 19 of them were disintegrated and turned into black smoke and dissipated. Li Mubing acted according to the opportunity and helped Chen Qingyun. Originally preparing to use 5 elements heavenly escape to avoid this crisis. Seeing Li Mubing helping, Chen Qingyun subconsciously looked at Li Mubing. "Kill this beast first." Li Mu responded coldly, even if it was just a reminder. His voice was still extremely cold, making people feel the coldness of being alienated from thousands of miles away. On the other side, Ancestor Lei Zhao, Ancestor Han, and Ancestor Hongling came together to form a siege, blocking the old devil's retreat. Seeing that his true body had exploded and he had nowhere to escape, he was doomed to die here. The old demon Gui had no fear at all, and would not beg for mercy. In a low voice. He suddenly grinned and laughed like a madman. "Ha ha ha ha, you can force me to this point, you have some skills." The old demon Gui acted radically, was cruel and didn't talk much. Unlike the other 2 old demons, he also cultivated a magic clone outside and hid in the immortal cultivation family. Even if his original body died here today, he could rely on that clone to take over the body and be reborn, and make a comeback. "If you want to kill me, then let's be buried together." He opened his mouth and spit out a golden talisman, which appeared in front of everyone. Before a few people could see the origin of the talisman, the next moment, the old demon Gui laughed wildly and immediately activated the talisman. In an instant, the light in the talisman was bright, expanding from the size of a talisman, turning into an illusory state, and spreading to a radius of 10,000 meters. Chen Qingyun and his companions subconsciously deployed defensive measures to guard against the old demon. At this time, they sensed the power of the golden talisman, and a series of strange breaths were generated out of thin air, which was a little confusing. Because the breath emitted by the talisman did not have any demonic or evil aura, but was a kind of awe-inspiring righteous breath. Not like a demonic thing. It happened so fast. Almost in the blink of an eye, this talisman exerted its power, forming the translucent cage of heaven and earth, sealing off a radius of 10,000 meters. This blockade range may not seem large, but it has covered the flying boat and many purple mansion monks together, which can be said to be a real catch-all. And the most striking thing is that within this blockade range, the world has reversed, as if the world has fallen and turned upside down. The corner of Black Sand Island that was originally under my feet was now reflected in the sky, like a reflection on the water. It was clearly visible that the mountains, rivers, buildings, rocks and plants on the island were all very real. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.